wired to the tracks.
Electrifying sports talk from start to finish.
You're going wire to wire.
With Diesel and Cole Bryson.
On the Fan Upstate.
Saka to Eberechi Eze. The Arsenal double act. Make it a triple. Here's Declan Rice. Hoisting the cross. Didn't go out. They're appealing for it. The Congo substitute says the cross.
That goal was the goal scored just about an hour and 15 minutes ago that staved off an embarrassing loss for England in the World Cup. England and Harry Kane later went on to score again in the 85th minute. Captain of the team, Harry Kane, gets it done for England, and they, Cole, are not going to be the third top 10 team in this World Cup to go down in the first matchup in the knockout phase. Number 3, Germany out. Number 8, Netherlands out. England that close to going down. A big wild game down in Atlanta earlier today.
It was. You know what, though, Diesel? I have admiration and respect for play-by-play announcers, especially in soccer. Now, it seems very challenging to me. That was a great call that you just played, and I mean a terrific play-by-play call. I don't know if it's just because I don't know and understand the sport fully, Diesel, but it seems like soccer play-by-play would be difficult. There's so much going on, and as you play that audio, I'm thinking, man, the ball can go from here to here to here to here to here, and you've got all these different players. You know, what's interesting is in football, when you're calling a game, Diesel, you're really talking about the people who have the ball. Well, sometimes in soccer, you've got like 7 or 8 people in the mix, and I have a lot of respect for those guys. I love that audio right there. But, yeah, you don't want to lose. Staving off elimination, 3 more games today. The most important game tonight, though. Let's just call it like it is. The most important game tonight at 8 o'clock.
That's it. Tolos, where are you going to go to catch tonight's USA versus Bosnia-Herzegovina game? Are you watching at all? Are you watching from home, or are you headed out to Fifth Third Park in Spartanburg, Cole, because the Spartanburgers are showing it on the Jumbotron?
They are, and I talked about yesterday, that would be fun, but H-O-T tonight, buddy.
Yes.
I hope you bring your, if you do go out tonight, I thought about going, really, I did. Maybe Tyson Jeffers can talk me into it. Diesel, if you go, you got to take your neck fan, your cooling pad, anything and everything, like 8 water bottles, a pack of 24 of Dasanis, anything and everything, because I'm sure they'll have drinks out there. But it's going to be a hot one today. It's a hot one today.
It is. What do we got? 95 degrees, brutal hot. So that game was kind of up in the arms for England all the way to the very end. 74th minute, Harry Kane heads it off a Gordon entry pass. Went off the goalkeeper's fingertips too, Cole. That was almost saved by the Democratic Republic of Congo goalkeeper. Just barely got a fingertip on it, and then Harry Kane able to score again just a couple of minutes later. Number 3, Germany down. Number 8, Netherlands upset. England almost there. Number 9, Belgium plays coming up in just about an hour here. France, Brazil, Morocco, Mexico, they were 5, 6, 10, and 12, respectively. They have all advanced. USA going for it tonight. USA, again, Cole, a team that I think we all expect USA to handle this Bosnia team fairly easily, but we'll have to wait and see. The World Cup is it's a fickle game, and we'll see if the USA can get it done against Bosnia tonight. Cole, I want to start the show here, and as Tolos can tell, I'm a little bit under the weather today. Cole battled through it earlier this week. I'm battling through it now, so we're getting through the summertime icks.
Yeah, I thought you were supposed to get this in the wintertime, not the summertime.
Yeah, I know. This is not fun.
Yeah, in the middle of the summer.
Especially for 4th of July. This is America's 250th birthday. It's unpatriotic, I think, Cole, for whatever germs these are to attack my sinuses and my lungs, because, man, I've been hacking the last couple of days. It hasn't been fun.
Now, let me ask you this. I, one time, had a really bad flu on Christmas. Would you rather be sick at the 4th of July or sick on Christmas? You have to choose one.
Oh, man.
That's tough,
I think I'd rather be sick on the 4th of July. Because Christmas, it's a time for all your family to get together. 4th of July, it's hot as hell most of the time. And, you know, that gives me a very easy excuse to not go anywhere.
No, I think I'm with you on that. I think I'll choose the 4th. Obviously, would rather have none. As you and I both are hacking already in the show, apologize, Tolos. I've had to pull my headset off just to avoid coughing over the air. But it is just going around. It's part of it. And you know what? 4th of July, you're right. It's here. It's time. It's hot. And my gosh, I don't know what the recipe this weekend will be to cool off, but my gosh, Diesel, it's going to be, you think it's hot today? It's supposed to be super, super hot on Saturday. It's going to be 97, 98.
I don't like that.
Yeah.
I don't like that at all. I think we're at 95 right now, Cole. That's enough. That's hot. That's above and beyond where it should be anyway.
Yeah.
So we need to fix this. We need to do something about this. Cole, speaking of fixing things, doing something about it, South Carolina and Clemson both lost a couple of football games last year, and I want to know which one of those two teams, Cole, do we think will be better at revengifying their losses from the 2025 season? So let's go, kind of look at blast from the past, look back into the 2025 seasons for both Clemson and South Carolina, the teams that they got beat by, the teams that they will play again this year, and the teams that we think either of those teams, Clemson or South Carolina, will be able to get revenge on in this 2026 season.
I like it.
What teams will they be able to turn around and beat this year?
Okay.
Just off the top of your head, without putting a whole lot of thought, without going game by game here, which one do you think gets more revenge this season? Clemson or South Carolina, because both lost a lot of football.
Ooh, I think the easy answer here to use is Clemson gets more revenge, and simply because we're in the ACC, I don't know. And look, we're still about a month away from making like our official predictions. Mm-hmm. I don't know if this team on paper is more talented than last year's team, but I will tell you this: I don't expect Clemson's record, and I'm not going to give you what I think it will be. But I do think, Diesel, Clemson's record will be better in 2026 than it was in 2025. Does that mean the team's better? Yeah, according to the record, it does. On paper, it was supposed to be really good last year, and it wasn't. So I think Clemson's record will be improved by 1 or 2 or maybe even 3 games. I am going to go with Clemson. South Carolina, simply, the reason I'm not going in is, Diesel, again, it comes down to conference for me. Their schedule, you'd like to get revenge on a lot of those teams or those games that you lost last year, but it's easier said than done. I think Clemson has a better chance of beating Georgia Tech and Syracuse. They lost Syracuse last year, right?
Correct.
Duke. I mean, it feels like they've lost to Duke a handful of times now in the past few years. But no, I'm going to go with Clemson. Do you agree?
On paper, on the surface of it, yes. Okay. Both teams, Cole, get 4 opportunities to play teams that they lost to last year, and I think South Carolina has a really good shot, honestly, at a couple of these games. And the ones that I'm going to say they have a good opportunity to beat, they might shock you here. So let's go with the Clemson Tigers first, Cole. Any chance Clemson revengifies and comes back on LSU and beats LSU on the road in Baton Rouge at the beginning of the season?
Is there any chance? There's a chance. Is it a great chance? I don't think it's a great chance. But
more talent across the board. Sam Levitt playing quarterback for him, so you got experience there. Yes, first year in the new system.
Yeah.
But he's got the experience under his belt that Christopher Vezina just doesn't have. And Christopher Vezina's got to go into LSU's Death Valley in his first start.
And that's kind of, to start with that one, that's kind of the reason I agree with you there. Like, if it weren't his first start, and now let me tell you this on Christopher Vezina. We'll spend a lot more time on him in the next month and a half. I actually think Christopher Vezina is going to be okay. I think he's going to be fine. I don't think Clemson loses games in 2026 because of Vezina. I think he'll actually surprise a lot of people when you talk about his talent. I know you hadn't seen a lot of him, but no, you're right. Do they have a chance to avenge that LSU loss? They have a chance, Diesel, but going on the road, I just don't see. Do you see Lane Kiffin losing that game? I don't see Lane Kiffin losing that game.
Could you imagine, though, the vitriol in Baton Rouge if Lane Kiffin loses game 1 of the era? Good.
Oh.
I mean, it would be, that's really disrespecting Clemson a lot by saying, hey, this program that's won multiple national titles in the past decade,
Yeah, but still.
coming into your building with Dabo Swinney as the head football coach, and here you go. You got Lane Kiffin taking over a new program with a new group of guys with a new starting quarterback. I mean, if Sam Leavitt was a freshman starter, I would say I think there's a really good shot that Clemson gets the win in Baton Rouge. But the fact that Sam Leavitt has the experience behind him, I say no. No, they do not revenge this game.
I'd say slim to none, right? It's going to be easier said than done for him to do that. Look, could my prediction change? Sure. I'll tell you this. I think a lot of, and I'm excited for this, by the way. I think a lot of Clemson fans, a lot of fans in general, and you, Diesel, will be very surprised when you hear what my prediction for Clemson is in 2026. I don't think they beat LSU. Do I think it's closer than people think? Maybe. I don't trust Clemson right now, but at the same time, you talk about newness. LSU's got a lot of newness as well. And yeah, on paper, they're more talented. And Lane Kiffin right now, it seems like he's not going to lose that game coming up in late August. But is it going to be a blowout like a lot of people think? I don't necessarily think so.
Does Clemson go 3-0 in their other revenge game opportunities? They'll get Georgia Tech at home, Syracuse on the road, and Duke on the road as well. All three of those games, Cole, interestingly enough, go from early season last year to late season this year. 3 weeks in a row, November 7th, 14th, and 20th, at Syracuse, Georgia Tech at home, and at Duke. I think by that point, we know whether or not Christopher Vezina has what it takes to be the starting quarterback at Clemson. He may not be the starting quarterback at Clemson in a doomsday scenario at that point, but I would be willing to bet 3-0 in those three games because Georgia Tech beat them on a 55-yard field goal. Last year's time expired. Steve Angeli for Syracuse, who got knocked out, I think the following week, was just playing out of his mind for Syracuse last year. And Duke needed a ridiculous drive from the 6 and a 2-point conversion to beat Clemson last year.
I'm thinking. You asked, do they go 3-0 in those revenge games? Mm-hmm. I think there's a very good chance they do. Now, look, Syracuse and Fran Brown, are they as talented across the board as Clemson, especially at the receiver position? Maybe not, but I do think Clemson rebounds this year. And again, are they a national championship team? No, I don't think so, but I do think they rebound. Syracuse is one of those, did you say, and I'm sorry if you just said this, it's one of those on a Friday night?
That one is, yes, Duke is on a Friday night, Friday, November 20th. So a short week to go on the road at Wallace Wade.
I say they beat Syracuse, and Diesel, I think they beat Georgia Tech. I do. I think they beat Georgia Tech. That was a really good Georgia Tech team last year. Are they as good this year as they were last year? I don't think so. Duke on a Friday night to finish with that one could be a little trickier. But Diesel, I'm going to lean yes. I'm going to lean they do go 3-0 in those revenge games.
How about that? So 3-1 against teams that they lost to last year that they will play again this year.
I think so.
In
what about you? You think they go 3-0 there?
I do. I mean, again, anything could happen. Maybe Duke's starter, maybe Syracuse's starter, maybe Georgia Tech's new starter will find something by the later part of the season, but I don't see it. I think Clemson across the board should out-talent all three of those teams. Again, that doesn't necessarily mean you're going to win the game because look what happened last year. But I think those three losses embarrassed Dabo Swinney last year, and they should have. They should have embarrassed Dabo Swinney last
100%.
year. And he's going to have a little extra motivation to get those teams ready to go and probably beat those teams into submission in those.
I'm with you on that. 100% agree.
Let's flip things over to the South Carolina side of things. Cole, a couple of minutes here left in this segment. South Carolina gets an opportunity to revenge against Oklahoma, a team that beat them 26-7 last year. I was at that game. It was boring as hell. Alabama was a close ball game last year at home. A&M was a 1-point ball game, and Clemson beat them by 2 touchdowns. The question is, of those 4 opportunities to get revenge, which ones do you like as an opportunity for South Carolina to avenge those losses and come out with a win this year? I like Alabama and A&M, and I'm really leaning hard towards the Clemson game as well, because that game, the Clemson and South Carolina game, Cole, last 8 times they played, the home team is 1-7 straight up.
Yeah, that's true. This one's tough. This is really tough. I will say, Diesel, I will say A&M, they had that game. That game was won. We remember they blew a 31-0 lead last year at A&M. They absolutely choked in that one. Didn't perform well against Clemson, as you mentioned. Alabama, I could see. Do I see them beating Oklahoma? I don't know. I like John Mateer. That defense is going to be good, led by Brent Venables, right? I don't lean Oklahoma right now. I do kind of side with you with Bama. I could see that. A&M, it's at home in Columbia in 2026. Maybe, Diesel, maybe, but again, that one's going to still be tough. It doesn't matter where you play Texas A&M. It's going to be tough, right? And then Clemson, could they avenge that loss? You said it. It's at South Carolina, right? Is that what you said there? It'll be at
for the A&M game?
For the Clemson game? Clemson, South Carolina will be –
It's at Clemson.
At Clemson. Okay. Yep. Okay, you're right, because the home team – you said the home team's lost. Yeah. I'm going to go with Clemson or Alabama. Do I not trust Alabama? I'm not saying I don't trust them. I just think Alabama's in a weird spot, Diesel, where they are normally not in this spot. But I think we're in an era where Alabama has to earn our trust week by week. They are not used to having to do that. It's just not, right? Like that's foreign for Alabama to have to earn our trust. But I think, are they still a great program? Yeah, they are. But at the same time, I think they have regressed a little bit. And I think we're at the point now where we just can't expect them to go out and run roughshod on everybody. They have to earn our trust every week. And that's okay. But Kalen DeBoer, Bama, FYI, newsflash, it's not the same as Nick Saban, Bama. So could I see South Carolina beating Bama? I could see it. Do I think it's going to happen? I don't know. It's still Alabama. They're still full of 5 stars. And, our predictions for South Carolina here in a little bit, in a month or so, that's going to be fun, right? This one's going to be tough to pick this year, Diesel. But that's why I say Clemson's easier. South Carolina's tough for me.
The Alabama one feels like, Cole, the chances are high in that you got Lenora Sellers, an experienced quarterback, going on the road. Now it's their first true road game of the year at Alabama. And Alabama will be playing their 3rd home game of the year so far. I think they got East Carolina, Florida State, and then South Carolina coming in there in week number 4 of the season. Maybe quarterback Keelan Russell, redshirt freshman, maybe he will have grown up by that point. Maybe Florida State gives him enough of a test that it really puts some maturity on him. Beamer is 7-19 against top 25 teams, and he's 8-15 in road games, Cole. He's just not good on the road. And part of that is playing in the SEC, right? Yeah. You're playing the best of the best on the road. It feels like one of those games where a boneheaded mistake cost the Gamecocks, but I think it's a close ball game. I'm saying no to Alabama. I'm saying yes to A&M. I think with the kind of a thin young receiving core, A&M is going to be maybe a little bit one-dimensional this year. And I'm going to say no. I was going to say yes, they beat Clemson again at Clemson this year.
I could see it like that game again. I don't know right now. Like if we had to pick Clemson, South Carolina today on July 1st, I would not know right now. I've got to get a better feel. Get me through ACC media days, ACC kickoff, and come August, Diesel, when you and I do our official predictions that first or second week of August, I'll have a better feel, hopefully. But like if I had to pick, let's just say, for example, right now, if we were picking Clemson, South Carolina right now on July 1st, do you have a strong sway either way? I mean, I'm right in the middle. I think, like I said, I think Clemson's record will be better. Do I think Clemson is way more talented than South Carolina? I think in areas they are. The two teams, their health by then, Diesel, that's important. I like Clemson's wide receiver room a lot better than I like South Carolina's wide receiver room. We'll see what the running back position looks like. If I were to pick right now today, that game, I think I would lean Clemson by about an inch. Yeah, okay. I think I would. I like South Carolina. The only reason I say that is, Diesel, that game's played, as we all know, at the end of the season. And the war of attrition, like for South Carolina, and I'm not saying the ACC is not tough, but when you go through what you have to go through in your South Carolina, your team is a lot different in November than it is in August. So it's going to be fun. I can't wait. I love talking college football. I cannot wait. We're 59 days away, by the way.
Is Shane Beamer's job on the line in that game? Could that be if let's say South Carolina has another middling season, but they beat Clemson again on the road? Does that save Shane Beamer's job?
If they have a middling season, yes. I don't think I'm going to say no. I don't think his job's on the line that game. I think they have a better season. I think they have a better season, and I think his job's safe going into that game. That's my prediction. Subject to change, though.
Texter says, I hope the rumor is true that South Carolina changed the garnet to crimson with the new Nike uniforms. This will be hilarious. South Carolina fans are all over this, Cole. The new Nike uniforms unveiled earlier today, and officially Nike puts South Carolina's garnet in its crimson category. And according to, who you look at, Jordan Kay down at the state newspaper, he's seen the uniforms and he says, man, they don't look like the same color as the Under Armour ones. They look a little odd. It looks a little lighter. It's not our crimson, or it's not our garnet, excuse me.
Well, you'll get over it, Gamecock fans. You'll get over it. You will. Sorry, but you will. Diesel, when you were gone, when you were sick yesterday, we had a great conversation with Michael Duarte of NBCLA. He is live in Santa Clara right now at the World Cup. He's covering the World Cup Team USA game tonight. We talked USA World Cup. We also talked a little bit of LeBron James, Diesel, as that was the big news yesterday. It was late in the show yesterday. In case you missed it, with Michael Duarte next, right here on the Fan Upstate.
lot more to know about sound if you really want to go into the subject.
Your smart speaker. Just say play 97 The Fan Upstate on your HD radio at WFBC HD3.
Oh, there's just one more thing.
And on your computer at
Fanupstate.com.
Extra call. One number does it all. 844-326-3663. That's 844-FAN-PHONE. This is Wire to Wire with Cole, Bryson, and Diesel on the Fan Upstate.
Well, from coast to coast, from sea to shining sea, we go from South Carolina, upstate South Carolina. Tuesday, right? We got all three going. Michael, you are going to be at the World Cup match. Tell me I'm making that up.
I don't know. This will be my 8th World Cup match so far of this tournament, and hopefully a lot more to come if USA can advance on Wednesday.
Wow, that is awesome. You have joined us, Michael. You might be my favorite guest. Don't tell my other guests that, but you've joined us from the dugout at the World Series. You've joined us now from the World Cup, so very much appreciate your time. Let's start with that, the World Cup, since you're covering it. I admit to my audience, Michael, I'm not a big soccer guy. I'm one of those hosts that will tell you if I know something, tell you if I don't. I'm not one that puts on a facade and pretends like I know soccer. So I want to ask your opinion. Pre-tournament expectations with this Team USA going into the tournament and now in the round of 32, if they get to the round of 16 with a win night, is that their ceiling in your mind?
That's a great question, Cole, and I promise your secret is safe with me as far as your favorite guest. But, I got my start covering Team USA in the World Cup in 2014 in Brazil. That was my start in sports journalism, and I've hit the ground running ever since.
Wow.
And if you had told me back then that, we'd host the World Cup on home soil in this country 12 years later, maybe with the best crop of players U.S. soccer has ever seen, and they would not only advance to the round of 32 or the knockout stages, but win a game, I would be a little surprised at that based on how they performed back then. But I maybe could have seen it coming with Jurgen Klinsmann at the helm, and now another international coach who's coached not just with other countries and Mauricio Pochettino with Argentina, but also club teams with Tottenham and Chelsea and in the biggest clubs in the world and has won titles with them. And it seems like it takes a coach who can kind of bring those knowledge and information from those other teams and tactics to our team to get the best out of them and bring out the best players from across the country. And this, make no difference about it, Cole, this is the best crop of players I've seen. The starting 11 outside of our goalkeeper, Matt Freese, who plays here in the United States and MLS with Philadelphia Union, all play abroad in Europe, and they all have substantial roles and start on those teams. And so to answer your question in a long-winded way, to me, their ceiling would be a quarterfinal. So it's not just winning on Wednesday, beating Bosnia-Herzegovina. It's then trying to shock, because I think they would be underdogs, whether it's Belgium or Senegal. I think they would be underdogs in that matchup. You got to win that match. And if you can, and you get to a quarterfinal, then it's back in Los Angeles at SoFi Stadium, which is like home turf for me. It's my second home. I know it very well. The crowd will get behind them. It's where they beat Paraguay in their opening match for this World Cup 4-1. More than likely, it would be taking on Spain, but it could also be Portugal. To me, that's their ceiling. And if they were to win that match in LA, now you've broken the glass ceiling. And anything can happen at that point if you advance to the semifinal.
Now, Michael, correct me if I'm wrong. Tomorrow night against Bosnia-Herzegovina, USA favored pretty heavily, right?
Yeah, they are favored. But, I want people to know and understand that this Bosnia-Herzegovina team, they are extremely underrated. They had to take out Wales, who the USA tied at the Qatar World Cup in 2022 in their opening match. They also took out Italy, who was a top 12 team in the world at the time in rankings, and obviously a 4-time World Cup champion. They knocked them out to get here. So they are used to punching above their weight class. They are used to pulling off upsets. They remind me a little bit of how Australia plays when we saw them in that second matchup in Seattle that I was at. They're very defensive minded. They don't mind not having the ball in their possession. They will be happy to let the USA take all the possession, and they'll kind of sit back, play defense, and look for opportunities to counter. They have a guy in Dzeko. I don't know if you know him. He's 40 years old. He's like the Tim Ream of Bosnia and Herzegovina. He's their striker. He's played all over the world, especially in Italy with Fiorentina. He's played with Schalke in Europe. He's played in Champions League. We want to make sure that that guy does not get the opportunity to score goals for Bosnia. But if the U.S. doesn't take them lightly, if they go out there and play the same kind of approach they played against Paraguay, they played a Pentagon formation in the midfield. They got the ball out wide, found spaces in the middle to score goals. I think they'll have success against Bosnia.
We're talking to Michael Duarte of NBC LA live in Santa Clara, where he's covering tomorrow's World Cup. Outside of Team USA, what's been the biggest World Cup surprise to you thus far, Michael?
Well, Paraguay, after the way they started, getting absolutely demolished by the USA 4-1, then going down to 10 men in their match against Turkey and somehow beating Turkey, who, in my opinion, was alongside the United States, the best team in Group D that was going to give USA the most troubles. And they did, as you saw, even though it was against the USA bench in that final match of group play. To do that, survive that, get out of the group, and then shock Germany in penalty kicks on Monday afternoon, if you've watched that game. Keep in mind, Germany was a perfect 4-0 in penalty kicks in World Cup history, but they did not look it in that penalty shootout. That's been a huge surprise for me, them advancing. And other than that, I think it's kind of gone the way we thought. The big stars have come out, the Lionel Messis, the Mbappes, the Dembeles, the Erling Haaland, Harry Kane. They're all scoring. They're all in the Golden Boot race. And the teams, the favorites we thought, are all still hanging around, lurking. I'm talking about France, Spain, Argentina, England. They're all still lurking around. Those are the teams that I predict will probably be in the Final Four, and then nothing has changed so far.
Well, Michael, the big news today outside of the World Cup with Team USA preparing tomorrow for tomorrow night's matchup at 8 o'clock local time. So what did 5 o'clock your time, I guess, out in Santa Clara. The big news of the day, LeBron James basically telling the Los Angeles Lakers they are free. They are good to move on without him. Shock to you, or it didn't catch you by surprise?
It didn't catch me by surprise. I would say the timing caught me a little bit by surprise, Cole, if I'm being a little bit honest. But the fact that he's leaving the Lakers did not. This was a guy I was in the locker room with for the last 8 years. I've seen his return, I guess, his coming to Los Angeles back in the summer of 2018 all the way till now. And this last year and a half, as Luka Doncic has now become the face of the Lakers, the player that they're building around, the center of the offense, watching LeBron play alongside him, have to be the third wheel along Austin Reeves, not get acknowledged when he's broken historic records in the locker room after game. I'm talking about a situation earlier when he scored the most points in NBA history, not regular season like Kareem, but postseason and NBA and regular season combined. When he did that, he did not receive the game ball that went to J.J. Redick for winning his 100th game. LeBron was very offended by that, stormed out of the locker room at the time. You could just kind of see this was a marriage that was heading for divorce. But what I was surprised by is this story that has only now in the last 48 hours or so started to come to be, and that is that the Golden State Warriors are putting all their chips on the table to become the olden State Warriors, I should say, by creating this potential big four of Steph Curry, Draymond Green, Anthony Davis, if they can trade for him out of Washington, and LeBron James. This news the timing of it was surprising because it tells me there's a lot of legs to that story now. You don't, if you're Rich Paul, the agent for LeBron James, take a team that you can be negotiating against and creating leverage to get the best for your client out of the picture so early in the NBA free agency. If you don't think this is something that can happen and that you can pull the trigger on it, because it just doesn't make sense to eliminate one of the teams that can, get the price for LeBron James up. This tells me he's all but assured to go to Golden State and probably form that big four like we said. And I would be shocked if Washington did it, but maybe they don't care. Maybe they don't want to extend Anthony Davis long term, and they're happy to get Jimmy Butler and some picks back. So it'll be very, very interesting to see how this all ends up playing out. But I think it's all but guaranteed at this point that LeBron's going to where I'm at, up here to the Bay Area, to play maybe the last year or final 2 years of his career alongside Steph Curry.
And the fact that it's no coincidence you mentioned, Rich Paul, that Anthony Davis and Draymond Green also represented by Rich Paul as well. So no coincidence there. Michael, what does life look like after LeBron for the Lakers? They've obviously got the cornerstone piece in Luka. You signed Austin Reeves, a very good player, but this is not a championship roster as currently constructed. So what, in your opinion, what does life now look like for the Lakers?
Yeah, absolutely. You know, Austin Reeves and Luka Doncic have a big brother, little brother relationship. They tease each other. They play around with each other. They hang out in the locker room. Signing Austin Reeves long-term and keeping him with Luka Doncic, keeping Luka Doncic happy, I think was a big priority for the Los Angeles Lakers this offseason. You can check that off the box. Now it is getting a rim-running big that can shot protect as well as finish at the rim, be a lob threat for Luka Doncic off that pick and roll. DeAndre Ayton, not quite up to task. Jackson Hayes, a little bit better at it. And in fact, he joined Team Slovenia and got his passport to join Luka when he plays his international ball for the national team now. So I imagine they'll try to re-sign him to a shorter deal as well, but you need a better big. So the Lakers are going to meet with Jalen Duren. They're going to meet with Max Kessler out of Utah. They're going to try to pair him with a big. Now, those two are restricted free agents, which means even if the Lakers meet with them, both sides like what they got going on, and they make them an offer, those teams, the Detroit Pistons and the Utah Jazz, have an opportunity to match that offer. So those are a little bit of a long shot, but they're going to try. If not, maybe you can do a sign and trade of some sort now that Ayton has opted in, and you can maybe trade that $8 million salary. I don't know. And then after that, you want to get three-point shooters and 3-and-D guys around him. Marcus Smart was a guy, but he was more of a LeBron guy. Him now deciding to opt out of his contract likely means he'll get more money elsewhere and not return to LA. They liked Rui Hachimura. He's kind of a 3-and-D guy, shot the lights out from three in the playoffs. Maybe they can re-sign him. But those are the guys that they're going to be kind of to look to pair around Luka Doncic now and build this team around Luka moving forward.
So what's that timeline look like, Michael? How long does that take? Because obviously Luka, he's not old yet. Austin Reeves still relatively young. But if you're a Lakers fan, how long does that timeline take to get this roster to championship form in your mind?
It's a great question. I know the Lakers thought that this summer would be an opportunity to do that, but as I challenge most Lakers fans who slide into my DMs nowadays, I tell them, go tell me what free agent is out there that's going to do that for you. You just signed the best free agent maybe available in Austin Reeves. Now LeBron James is an available free agent, but he's leaving you. So restricted free agents aside, who is out there that you can get that can make you an immediate contender like you just said? Now that all depends on are the Detroit Pistons, after what they saw from Jalen Duren in the postseason this year, are they willing to sign a match offer sheet if the Lakers want him that badly? Are the Utah Jazz willing to re-sign Max Kessler if the Lakers make an offer sheet, especially now that, they just had a great draft pick? So those are the questions. I think they end up matching those deals. And so then if you're the Lakers and you kind of just end up with bringing most of the pieces back, DeAndre Ayton comes back, Austin Reeves comes back, Jackson Hayes comes back, maybe you bring back Rui Hachimura and Luke Kennard, then you're not a championship contender. So now you're looking at the trade market or maybe next year's offseason if you can get a big free agent center to come in, because then DeAndre Ayton would be off the book. So it's really just whether or not these teams match those deals the Lakers are going to make to try to get a big man in to pair with Luka.
Talking to Michael Duarte of NBCLA. He's in Santa Clara live right now ahead of tomorrow's World Cup match with Team USA. Let's talk big picture Lakers-wise. We know that LeBron did bring the organization a championship in 2020, Michael, but would you say that LeBron James fulfilled his duties of being a Los Angeles Laker?
It's a great question, and this is going to be one that we're going to be arguing here in Los Angeles at barber shops and, at sports bars for the next few years, of course. And the big one that I kind of brought up earlier this year is LeBron James going to get a statue? I think it's a no-brainer. He'll get his jersey retired in the rafters amongst all those Lakers legends at we call it the crypto.com arena now, but I still call it Staples Center. But will he get a statue? Is he up to that part? Look, he brought him a championship, and he did it in the year 2020 that Kobe Bryant passed away tragically in a helicopter accident. I think that goes a long way for Lakers fans that he did it that year. He also chose the Lakers in 2018 at a time when they hadn't made the playoffs in 6 straight years. They were rebuilding, and seemingly no big free agents wanted to come play with those young guys and with Kobe Bryant at the time. LeBron said, screw all that. I'm willing to come out there and sign with you, and I'm going to go bring Anthony Davis, and we're going to go build a championship contender. It wasn't his fault, in my opinion, that team didn't stay together after they won the finals in 2020 in the bubble. Rob Pelinka kind of messed with those dynamics and let a lot of guys leave. I would have brought most of them back and let him run it back. So I think overall it's a success, a successful tenure. You won a championship in his time. He went to 8 All-Star games. You made the playoffs every single year except one. So I think it's a success. And I think as time goes on and they grow on and start to miss him and see what happens in LeBron's future, whether that's with Golden State, as we said, or maybe in Cleveland or something, they'll end up missing what they had here, and they'll look back on his time favorably. And I think ultimately he'll come back. He'll be a big part of LA Lakers culture and stuff, and he'll get that statue one.
Michael, part B and last question for you before we let you go. Putting on your forecasting prediction hat, Luka is obviously a star. He came very close to winning a championship in Dallas. They had some good runs there. Now he's in L.A. He is a star. We know what the expectations are, though, for stars in L.A. If you look in the future, your crystal ball a decade from right now is Luka. Does his jersey get retired for winning a championship in L.A.?
That's going to be the $1 million question, because in order to get your jersey retired, you'll notice up there and the rafters at Staples Center, that's the single denomination. Pau Gasol just had his jersey retired most recently. That's the most recent Laker to have it done. And why? Because he brought 2 championships alongside Kobe Bryant to the Lakers in his tenure here. And I would argue Luka Doncic, no offense to Pau Gasol, is a much better player as far as all-timer. But can Luka Doncic lead any Lakers team in caps to a championship, especially in a loaded West where you have the Thunder and the Spurs sitting there ready to be a finals contender for the next 5-6 years with their young rosters? And Wemby looking like maybe the absolute best player in the NBA when he's on. That's going to be very difficult for a Luka Doncic-led team where he's a top 5 worst defender in the league when it comes to that. You're going to need to pair a lot of centers around him, a lot of defenders to kind of mask his deficiencies on defense. And you're going to need to get really, really lucky, meaning you're going to need to have like Wemby get injured or SGA get injured or something for the Lakers to kind of do what the Knicks did, in my opinion, and kind of surprise everybody and go all the way and win it. It's possible, but when I look at my crystal ball in 10 years, I'm not sure if this Lakers team is going to win a championship in the next 10 years. I'm just going to say that. Will they be in the picture every year? I think so. But will they actually get over the hump and win it? If you put a gun to my head right now, I'd say probably not.
Michael, fantastic stuff. I can't tell you enough how much I appreciate your time and always look forward to talking to you again soon. Have a blast tomorrow night and go Team USA.
Thank you. Go USA. Have a great show.
You too, Michael.
manning up.
844 Fan Phone. This is Wire to Wire with Diesel and Cole Bryson on the Fan Upstate.
Cole, do you know Katie Nolan from ESPN, longtime analyst?
Yeah, absolutely.
I like Katie. I think she's very good at what she does. She's been great on television and all the shows she's ever been on. I listened to a promo for her show where she covers the World Cup, and she says Americans need to stop trying to change soccer. She's like, all the eccentricities, like, random amounts of added time at the end of the game. That's what makes soccer beautiful. We're over here saying, like, is anybody timing how much time you're adding to the game, or is it just like a feeling, bro? Well, maybe. But I just found out today, Cole, that in soccer, in the World Cup, it is a red card offense, immediately thrown out of a game for covering your mouth and whispering mean things to your opponents. Like, you can't be serious about soccer as a tough guy sport. If I cover my mouth and I say something mean about your mama, that gets me thrown out of the game immediately. And they're using video assisted referees to catch these guys.
Diesel, that's what makes soccer great. That's what makes the sport great, right? We don't allow bullying in this sport. You cannot bully. You're not going to do it. I did not know that. Of course, I didn't know that. Why would I know that? But that just sounds lame. It sounds very lame.
It's actually been called twice in this very World Cup, and
There's no way.
A third time on Messi when he did it, but they didn't call it on him because it's Messi, right? It's like you don't upgrade a foul to a flagrant on Wemby when he slams Jalen Brunson in the back of the head, because you could cost him a game later if he gets another flagrant, which he did in the next game. So that allowed him to potentially stay eligible for later games in the NBA Finals. Didn't matter, but a player from Ecuador, Piero Hincapi, was thrown out of the game for covering his mouth and trash talking a Mexican player.
That's unbelievable. That's unbelievable is all I can say, Diesel. Look, you already flop more than anybody else, and now you tell me about this rule. Come on. What are we doing here? I'm with you.
I mean, if LeBron James is tweeting about you and saying, man, these guys flop way too much, you got a problem.
No doubt. Diesel, speaking of a problem, a lot of people on social media had a big problem with Dewey's favorite weather meteorologist forecaster. We're going to get into that. This is fun regarding this heat. Also, do you agree? Where do you stand, Diesel, on the segment I did yesterday that we'll do at 5:20 today, where we knocked down the door of another college football storyline? I talked about Kurt Signetti in Indiana, had a lot of feedback. Where do you stand? We'll get into it next.
fields to the courts and the gridiron to the tracks.
Electrifying sports talk from start to finish.
You're going wire to wire
With Diesel and Cole Bryson.
on the Fan Upstate.
Well, Diesel, no more hate in the world, only love. Hate has been solved. I don't know if you saw this. Breaking news today, there is no more hate in the world. A flip of a switch. It's all love because two people decided to scale the Empire State Building in New York City earlier today, reaching the very tippy top. And I mean the very tippy top, Diesel, holding a banner from the skyscraper's antenna, reading, "When the power of love beats the power, or the love of power, the world knows peace." Again, when the power of love beats the love of power, the world knows peace. Bam, just like that, all of our world problems are solved because of this couple who decided to hang the banner today. And it gets better. It gets better. There's more. On the way down, the guy decided, while I'm here, let me climb down from the antenna, Diesel, onto this platform. And while I am here, let me propose to my girlfriend on the top of the Empire State Building before we go to jail.
That's really sweet if you think about it. I mean, look, on its surface, the sentiment is a nice sentiment. You know, I mean, is it going to change anything? No. Is it going to make somebody who had hate in their heart suddenly have love in their heart? No. Is it going to make somebody who was lusting for power suddenly say, I don't really want this anymore. I just want everybody to be friends? No. But hey, good on you, I guess. Got a lot of attention. That spire, Cole, is 1,454 feet off the ground.
Yeah.
And that is about 1,444 feet higher than I like to be off the ground.
Yeah, I've been, Diesel, to the Empire State Building, and I've been as high as they let you go on the tour, right?
Yep.
I didn't climb up to the antenna like the couple did today.
It's usually frowned upon.
Usually, I just decided in the moment that it wasn't a good idea, but what a wild story. A couple decides to go up there, solve world peace, and get engaged, and take a trip to the jail cell at the same time.
Yeah.
Not sure what the bond will be, how long they'll have to serve, or what the penalty or fine may be. But, boy, what a courageous act. And you could do that in South Carolina. I guess you could climb to the top of the BB, or the I say BB&T building, I still call it the BB&T building in Spartanburg. The Denny's building. Yes, thank you. I still call it the BB&T building. That's what it used to be. Guess you could climb to the Denny's building, right? No, don't do that.
No.
Don't do that.
It's not the tallest building in South Carolina.
Spartanburg.
The tallest building in South Carolina is the Capitol Center in downtown Columbia. 349 feet tall, 25 floors. Now, I've heard, Cole, that this brand new building that they're going to be putting in Greenville, right there at the entrance off of 385, where the old Greenville Memorial Auditorium used to be, I've heard that will become the new tallest building in the state of South Carolina.
Wow.
Once it's done.
How about that? Taller than Odyssey, Greenville? I mean, are you kidding me? What are you talking about? That's pretty impressive. So I saw that story and I said, man, we've got to bring that to
why do you got to cover your face? You know, if everybody's going to know who you are as soon as you come down, right? I mean, it's not like you were going to get up there, hang the banner, and scurry away.
Yep.
They're going to know who you are as soon as you come down. So why even bother putting on a mask?
And those people are in custody, according to New York officials. Yep.
It doesn't look like they damaged anything. So I mean, that's
a positive, I guess.
No vandalism, the first time in a while
in New York.
Public statement has happened without vandalism.
They're not a Knicks fan, I guess, right? So there's
the colors of the banner. They must be Nets fans.
Nets fans,
Nothing
Brooklyn.
else to do.
There's your story of the day. If that were a segment, there you go, Tolos. 844-326-3663 is the Joy Law Firm text line. I want to get in on the conversation. You can do so. Phone lines are open as well. We've got Tyson Jeffers coming up in about 17 minutes on the show. So we're going to bring it local here in just a few minutes. Diesel, before we get into a topic from yesterday, the big controversy on the show today, or not on the show, but on social media. Dewey, I'm sure, has seen this. I'm surprised that Dewey hasn't commented about this already, Diesel, because you know as well as I do, in the wintertime, Dewey complains about a certain meteorologist. And I think we all know who that meteorologist is that Dewey complains about, right? Right? We all know. You know, I know, because of snow and things like that. Dewey's not a big fan, and he's been fired several times. Well, today, in the comments section on his post and in the shares section as well, Diesel, this meteorologist, who we're not picking at, we're just bringing it up because it's really, really funny and it's local and relevant. He's getting a lot of heat, no pun intended, for a post today that people are claiming is just clickbait. There's no truth to this. There's no need to do any of these things. Here's the post. For those watching the stream, you can see it, and you can see who our beloved local meteorologist is. But here's the controversial topic alert, which, by the way, he headlined at the very top. And he knew this was going to get plenty of clicks. And look how many comments, 9.7 thousand comments. So here's the ridiculous post that he posted earlier today. With it being hot outside, right? Here's how to maximize your air conditioning system at home, says local meteorologist Chris Justice. Diesel, as you can see on the graphic, he says AC temperatures for max efficiency: 78 while at home, 80 while sleeping, and 85 while at work. And then he comes down below and says, what are your settings?
What if I'm sleeping at home?
That's a good point. That's a good point. So, Diesel, this post, is there truth to not running your air condition as hard? Sure. I used to be in the air conditioned business on the marketing side of things, and I know enough to know that there is a little bit of truth there. Is this even practical? No. Nobody. Diesel, who's going to sleep at home in 80 degrees if you have functioning air conditioning? He is being roasted, as you can imagine, in the comments, but that's exactly why he posted that to begin with, right?
Man, if my house is 80 degrees, Cole, I'm sleeping in a bathtub of cold water.
There's
no way that's going to happen. 80 degrees.
80. If my house is 80 degrees, it's probably about to go up in flames.
Oh,
I mean, no.
We thought we were about to have an air conditioning emergency at our house. You know, that little drip thing that, they usually put it over a window or the back patio. So, when your air conditioning unit is overflowing. That started dripping on us yesterday morning.
Oh, no.
And we're like, oh, crap. Turns out all we had to do was put a little vacuum tip in the pipe that pulls the water out of the air conditioning unit and suck the gunk out of it, and it's operating fine. But we thought we were about to have a problem. But 80 degrees, Cole, that's about 15 degrees higher than I like it to be.
Night.
Like at night, our air conditioning is set to 68 degrees, and there ain't no way it's going any warmer than that.
68 is the sweet spot, 100%. And look, again, going back to what I said, is there truth about running your air condition a little less aggressive? Sure. But Chris Justice knows that this is just a clickbait post. And is Chris Justice's job to report the weather? Sure it is. But guess what else Chris Justice's job is to do, Diesel? It's the same thing ours is. While we report on sports, it's also to give and create engagement. And boy, does Chris Justice and the weather business in South Carolina have, you got to think, meteorologists go to school and they think about where they want to be meteorologists in the country. And people are just in line to go to South Carolina to be a meteorologist because they know you rarely get snow. And when you do, people are going to freak out, right? And then in the dead of summer, Diesel, you can make posts like this. And guess what? You don't have to worry about any kind of backlash. Some comments here, some comments there. But from your bosses, what are they going to say? Quit getting so much engagement on our Facebook page? No, they're not going to say that. This is the perfect place to get engagement. We're so gullible. We are in South Carolina. We're so enamored by the weather. And when somebody puts that out there, what Tolo in the upstate right now is sleeping at 80 degrees Fahrenheit? Anybody?
That's a good question. What Tolo currently has their air conditioning set to the highest number?
Oh, that's a good one.
Tolo's.
I can tell you this, though.
Air conditioning set at right now?
Nobody will be 80. I promise you.
No.
that's and that going back to the people's comments on Chris's post, that's kind of what's ludicrous. Do you think Chris Justice's house right now is 80 degrees inside? No.
Of course not.
The AC's running, baby, and the
But he's
AC,
not
man.
wrong. He's not wrong. It's incredibly expensive. I mean, our electricity bill and air conditioning is the biggest part of it. It wasn't even the hottest month of the year yet. It was like $200.
But here's the problem, though. If your home climbs to, like, let's say 80, 85, God forbid 86, 87, the AC has to remove, Diesel, all of that stored heat from furniture, walls, floors, cabinets, drywall, which can take hours. So it's actually, while he's not like totally wrong, it's actually more efficient to let the house warm only a few degrees while you're gone. So I think to his point, 80 might be a little ridiculous. If you left the home at 76, okay, maybe that's a little bit more. I mean, that's still warm.
Never going to happen.
Never going to happen for me either. I will bump mine. I will tell you, if I'm leaving for an extended period of time, I will bump mine a degree or two, a couple, maybe 3. But I'm not going to go outrageous and bump it all. But I guarantee you there's nobody, no Tolo in the upstate that is at 80 right now.
No. See, we got one of those fancy ones that allows you to schedule different day parts where it goes up and down through different parts of the day.
See, you're so bougie.
73 degrees right now with what the house is set at. We got a couple cats and dogs inside the house. So we don't want to let it get too warm because they're in the house. They would be totally fine. Let's be real. They'd be fine at 76, 77 degrees. But it's amazing, right? How 77 degrees is relative, like, for example, Texter here says, I mean, when it's hot outside, walking into a house that's 80 degrees is rather refreshing. That is true, but you're never going to cool all the way down unless you're just used to the heat. And I'm not used to that heat, man. I'm an inside cat this time of year.
No. Are you going to sleep in 80-degree households, Tolos? No.
That's when things stick together that aren't supposed to stick together.
RJ gets in on the Joy Law Firm text line and says, I keep my heat and AC set around 73, depending on if it's hot or cold outside. 73 is probably closer to average, I would imagine. I'm more in what you said, closer to 68, 69. But I think if you took an average of people in the upstate, I think the average would be closer to what RJ said. I would say if I had a guess, the average is probably 71, 72, if I had a guess, of our listeners. Just knowing, like, it's hot this week. There's no doubt. But at the same time, like, you don't need it on 67. And I don't want to get freezing cold, So
those are those people, though, that want to sleep with like a heavy blanket, heavy comforters at 67 degrees in the middle of the summertime. It's counterintuitive. You understand that it makes you spend more money on your electric bill every month, but you do it anyway because supposedly that's how you're comfortable sleeping. I mean, there's no amount of fan. Like I can turn the ceiling fan up all the way. We can put extra fans in our bedroom.
Yeah.
That's not helping me out. 80 degrees with that many fans on is still hot as hell.
It's hot. It's hot. Texter says Dewey's moped doesn't have AC. Listen, I didn't know Dewey drove a moped, and I didn't know mopeds any moped. And I'm just kidding, Texter. Right now, the AC on a moped is pretty hot, right now, because you're getting that hot wind, if you will, riding down 85. Well, you can't take a moped on 85, but you get the point. So that's pretty funny. The comments, if you haven't seen them, go to Chris Justice's Facebook. He is great at creating engagement. I wish I had his job. It's similar, I guess, to starting something with Clemson or South Carolina fans on our social media, Diesel. But like I said, with weather in South Carolina, it is easy to get things stirred up.
I think he's just so good at his job, Cole, that he has all this extra time to come up with ways to troll the upstate South Carolina population.
Well, what are you reporting on right now? Like, it's hot.
It's hot. Yeah.
Yeah.
Tomorrow,
there's your weather forecast.
The next day.
That's right. Hot. Any rain coming? No. Any cool? No. Any snow? No. It's hot. Like you said, I mean, there's your weather forecast for the next 7 days, especially this weekend. It's hot. I mean, my goodness, it gets pretty simple. Diesel, before we get off the break here in a few minutes, I want to know what your thoughts are. Yesterday, we knocked down storyline number 2. We'll do storyline number 3 today. 2 days ago on Monday, you and I talked about Trinidad Chambliss and his ceiling with first-year head coach. Yesterday, I got a lot of interaction about Kurt Cignetti in Indiana. I asked the question when it comes to this storyline going into the 2026 season, what does Cignetti's season in 2026 and beyond look like? The question is, Diesel, did Cignetti have just a great season last year, or is he building a great program? Will we see replication in 2026 that we saw in 2025? I admitted that building a great program in today's modern college football is very difficult to do. However, I also admitted, Diesel, that if anybody can do it, that guy has won everywhere he's been. Where do you stand on Cignetti, lightning in a bottle, or program building?
Well, when you Google Kurt Cignetti, what do you find? What are the results?
Championships.
I win. Remember,
Yep.
He says, Google me. I win. He won at James Madison. He won more games than they had in a long time in his first year at Indiana, and he wins a national championship in his second year at Indiana. You know, it's that age-old kind of unfair standard that you put on a coach that just won a national championship. If you don't back up a national championship with another national championship, all of a sudden you're a failure. Well, that's not true because you've got a different team. Your conference is different. Your competition across the nation is different. And you know as well as I do, Cole, a lot of times you just have to get lucky sometimes. Ball has to bounce your way a handful of times over the course of a season. I think Kurt Cignetti, I think the world of him as a coach. I think he's a funny guy. He's quirky and gruff in all the best possible ways for a football coach. I got every reason to believe that Indiana will be a top 25 team by the end of the season.
Yeah.
They're a top 15 team, and they're on the cusp of making the playoff again. Shouldn't that be the standard, making the playoff? Now, I know for Clemson fans, they would say, well, that's not good enough if you got Dabo Swinney as your head football coach. But Kurt Cignetti is not Dabo yet. He doesn't have the same number of national championships. You have to see it over the course of time. It's something it's a question you can't answer in a snapshot. A snapshot can tell you that coach was great that 1 year, but can you do it again and again and again and again when your players are leaving you in the transfer portal, they're graduating? Can you repeat it? And that repeatability is sort of a standard inside the top 15, top 20 every single year. And can you have a down year and bounce back to the point where you're in the mix again?
And Tom in Somerville brought up a good point. Diesel, the expanded playoff is going to be beneficial for a lot of people, right? And Kurt Cignetti, you mean to tell me that he's not going to benefit? Like, to what you said, will he win the championship again this year? I don't think so. Will he be in the playoff? I do think so. Their schedule's favorable. They have one really, really tough game against Ohio State, who, by the way, just got the #1 recruit in the nation today. But other than that, they've got a lot of manageable games. Here's why I trust Cignetti, and I talked about this yesterday. That guy, all the things you said, I agree with. I'm a fan. I think he's a great coach. But out of all of the things that he does well, more than anything else, he develops players. And he identifies talent, and he takes that talent, and he develops those players. That is why I trust Kurt Cignetti more than anybody else right now. Are there other great coaches? Yes. Is Kirby Smart amazing? Yes. But when you look at what he was able to do, identifying players last year, you just cannot compare that kind of identification and what he's able to do from a development standpoint. That's why I say, hey, if anybody can build a program in modern college football, while it seems like there's a lot of parity out there with the Miamis, the Indianas of the world, Diesel, I think Cignetti can do it. I do. I think he can do it. And again, I don't think they win the championship this year, but I think they're in the playoff. I think they're a very good team. We'll see what life looks like after Fernando Mendoza.
2024, Cole, they went 11-2. They went 11-2 with a bunch of nobodies that he brought with him from James Madison. I mean, and again, I'm not throwing shade at James Madison. They did a great job under Kurt Cignetti identifying talent there.
Sure.
But you're not supposed to be able to do that. You're not supposed to be able to bring guys from G5 teams up to the Power 4, especially to the Big Ten, and do what he did. That right there is the ultimate testament to development. You were able to take undersized, slower guys and do that.
Yeah.
That's incredible.
I'm with you.
That really is incredible.
I'm a huge fan.
the repeatability is certainly there. Go when we come back. Let's go right up the road, up I-85 to Spartanburg, because we've got a date with Tyson Jeffers, the GM of the Hub City Spartanburgers. They got a big event coming up tonight at their ballpark, and we're going to find out everything that's going on there and some other great events happening with the home of the Spartanburgers as well in the coming weeks. That's next right here on the Fan Upstate.
number does it all. 844-326-3663. That's 844-FAN-PHONE. This is Wire to Wire with Cole, Bryson, and Diesel on the Fan Upstate.
Well, Team USA taking on Bosnia-Herzegovina in the World Cup tonight, 8 o'clock live from Santa Clara. And our next guest just so happens to operate a giant facility that's going to be showing the game on the Jumbotron. A great chance to get out and hang out in Spartanburg at Fifth Third Park, home of the Spartan Burgers. Before we get into what all you have going on tonight, Tyson Jeffers, the GM of the Hub City Spartan Burgers. In the very last segment, we were talking about Chris Justice, local weatherman, who says that for peak efficiency, you should be running your air conditioning at 80 degrees at night. Now, working for the Rangers, I know you've lived and worked in some hot places, but have you ever had your air conditioning set to 80 degrees while you were sleeping in the house on purpose?
Insane. As someone from Mississippi, that is, no one would ever do that. you run, technically they tell you to run cooler at night so that you can sleep better. So it depends. Do you want to have a lower energy cost, or would you rather be healthier by getting better sleep?
That's a good point. I'm going to go healthier because I like it cold. Tyson, it's Cole here. Always appreciate you hopping on with us. Let's get started before we get into tonight's events and the season. Let's get started. I'm going to put you and Diesel both on the spot. I will allow you, Tyson, as the guest to go first, but we're going to do a rapid fire either or. I'll give you the either and the or. Tyson, you answer first. Diesel, you follow in behind. This one's 4th of July related. Tyson, you ready?
I'm ready.
Burgers or hot dogs?
Burgers.
Well, I know, Diesel, I know Tyson had to answer burgers or he would be fired from the Texas Rangers, right? Because they are these Spartan Burgers. I want to throw the little trick question out there first. All right, ribs or pulled pork?
Pulled pork.
Yeah, pulled pork.
Okay. Banana pudding or peach cobbler?
Banana pudding.
Banana pudding.
I like that. Sweet tea, Tyson, or lemonade?
Sweet tea.
Same.
I think I'd go lemonade, especially. Homemade ice cream or popsicles?
Ooh, homemade ice cream.
Homemade ice cream.
Okay. Potato salad or macaroni salad?
Potato salad.
Same.
All right. Fireworks now. Artillery shells or the big 500-gram cakes, the big ones that, last a little bit longer than an artillery shell?
Cakes.
Yeah.
I'm going to go artillery shells.
Oh, okay. Diesel, a little curveball there.
I do like the booms. I like the feel of the boom.
Yeah, I want to set off somebody's car alarm.
Yeah, no doubt. You both did really well with that. I am now very hungry and ready for fireworks. Speaking of fireworks, Tyson, let me compliment you before Diesel gets in with his next question. The best fireworks show, and I mean best. Look, there are a lot of good ones out there, but every Friday night when you guys do Friday night or fireworks Friday night, I'm sorry for butchering what you guys call it, Friday night fireworks, I believe. The fireworks show you guys put on is phenomenal. I was there this past Friday, 11th inning walk-off plus fireworks. It was late, but it was well worth it, especially with the fireworks, right?
You can't beat it. Yeah, we call it Fifth Third Fireworks because Fifth Third Bank is the sponsor of our fireworks. And
sorry about that.
Make sure that we always have an amazing show. So having the backing of a sponsor allows us to elevate that. And when you talk about artillery shells, if you've ever been to a fireworks show, the end is just all artillery shells.
Yes.
And it is riveting.
Yes. How do you pull something like that off, though? Like when you talk about that many fireworks, the crew that does that on Friday nights, is that a big crew? I mean, that's an impressive show, Tyson.
I think they have it dialed in. It's just a couple guys. We work with a company called Pyrotechnico. They do a lot of the sports teams, college teams around.
Gotcha.
And they do an awesome job. But yeah, I don't think it's the run around and light every hit buttons that are pre-planned.
Tyson, I got to imagine as downtown Spartanburg has a good mix of business and some residential as well. You got to be keeping some people up late at night. How many angry phone calls and emails have you fielded in the last year and a half now that the stadium's been open of fans in Spartanburg saying, "The heck, guys, can y'all keep it down?"
Yeah, we get a handful, and some like, as the game gets longer and it gets later, I know that my inbox is going to get a few angry people. I do think that now, like last year, was a little bit more because people were unaware. Now that people know Friday nights there's fireworks, they give their dogs their medicine and put their earplugs in if they don't want to be here to enjoy them. But the 4,000 people that are here on Friday nights love them.
Yeah. No, you're right. It's fantastic. And good to hear that y'all have a professional company, not like three other rednecks and me back there with some lawn chairs and some lighters, just running around because I was hoping you'd say that, but I figured you did it professionally because it's fantastic. Talk about tonight, Tyson, an opportunity for people to come out and watch the World Cup, pull for Team USA, and will you have a new above ground pool where people can watch it from tonight to avoid the heat?
Luckily, the area that we're opening up, which is the third base side, is shaded. So that will be good. Hopefully, it cools everything off. But it's pretty hot out there today. Yeah, we will open the gates at 6:30. We'll have cold beer and drink specials from 6:30 to 8, so the start of the match, and then we'll just have good vibes. Hopefully, lots of goals and the U.S. taking on the victory sometime tonight. We'll have a lot of fun with it. Make it what we call the Spartan Burgers experience. So we'll have our hype man Wyatt on the mic. He'll be doing USA chants, and we'll keep it hype and good vibes here.
See, Tyson, I was going to ask if you were giving away Spartan Burgers branded talcum powder, for certain parts that stick to other parts when it gets too hot out there. So you said cold beer and drink specials. Are you guys running the full complement of concessions that you normally do at Spartan Burgers games?
Yeah, it won't be full. We won't have everything open, but we'll have hot food, all the concessions, so people can go into the marketplaces. We'll have our caboose bar open that can do mixed drinks, beers, everything that you'd want from adult beverages. And then video board will be on. There'll be TVs on with the game throughout the concourse. You can bring your pups, so bring your dogs along with you. But yeah, we just want to open the gates up, make it accessible for people to come in and have a good spot to gather as a community and cheer on the USA.
We're talking to Tyson Jeffers, general manager of the Hub City Spartan Burgers, 97.1 Spartanburg, 97.7 Greenville, 101.5 Anderson. Tyson, what do you expect this weekend? Spartanburg downtown has always held a big red, white, and boom. For those that do not know, maybe looking for something to do this weekend, can you talk about what is going on at Fifth Third Park?
Yeah, so before everyone comes to Fifth Third Park, which we'll open the gates at 5 p.m. and have a ton of stuff that I'll cover, but the city is hosting several things to honor and celebrate 250 years in Morgan Square. So they'll have kind of their own pre-party before they parade down to Fifth Third Park.
Wow.
We open the gates and start letting people in and out onto the field. So similar to last year, it'll be again two events this week that we open the gates up. It's free, so anyone can come, walk in, grab a seat. You could lay out something on the field, a blanket, and relax and find your spot. But from 5 until 9, there'll be a full slate of entertainment with live music, DJs, and a lot of the promotions that we do just to keep people entertained. And then before we get to fireworks, we will have a special burger eating contest. And I heard there's a celebrity that you guys might know participating in it.
Is that right?
What?
Is that right? Can we say who that is, Tyson?
If you'd like, you're welcome to.
I just, look, I'm excited for it, Diesel. You think I'm up for it? What do you think? Huh?
Oh, so that's why you've been losing all that weight, so that you can make room for all these burgers you got to choke down.
Evidently so. Tyson, I cannot wait. Let me ask you this. What is your advice? I mean, how do you do this? I mean, let's not talk too loud because other contestants might be listening, but I mean, how do you do this? A burger eating contest. What's your advice?
I'd say buns off. You go straight meat.
Yeah.
And then you go dip the buns in the water. If you're looking to win,
yeah,
that's what you got to do. You got to do buns last, and those are just soaked buns, just so you can gut them down.
That sounds
What a
horrible.
great
That
image
sounds
that
so
is, right?
gross. Soaked buns.
It will not look pretty.
No, no, it won't. Do not
Tyson.
bring the cameras out, right, Diesel?
Goodness gracious. The
You'll be on the
aftermath.
You'll be on the biggest screen in Spartanburg. We'll zoom in as you do that.
Tyson, obviously we're all a little biased here as baseball fans, and the 4th of July scene at the Sandlot is to me one of the most iconic representations of the 4th of July in any movie, not let alone just sports movies. Is there anything else that comes close to kind of capturing the 4th of July as a kid, like going to the fair, maybe eating some chaw that you shouldn't be eating and throwing up all over the Ferris wheel like they did in the Sandlot?
It's tough to beat that. I mean, that movie truly depicts what every kid should be doing, and that is not me saying go steal someone's tobacco and try it out for the first time. But you can come to the ballpark, envision a baseball game, have some fun here, and watch some fireworks with your buddies and enjoy a good time. That's what it's all about.
Tyson, I want to ask you about attendance. I was there Friday night, and it was hot, it was humid, and I was just enamored by the crowd that was there Friday night. And you guys, I know you watch the attendance all season, and I'm sure your end game is just that, getting butts in the seats. And we talked to you last year after year one. Sometimes things drop a little bit in popularity, but there's no dropping in popularity with the Hub City Spartanburgers. How have you been able to measure the attendance this season? Obviously, you guys do so many great events and marketing and things throughout the course of the game. I don't want to say it doesn't matter how the team's performing, but the event is the event regardless of what the team's doing on the field. And then you get the bonus of teams winning and the Spartanburgers being a good baseball team. How have those measurements come in, those numbers, analytics, and how do you guys typically do that on a monthly or yearly basis when it comes to the amount of fans that are showing up to these games? Because it looks like a lot.
Yeah, we're very pleased with how our sophomore season is going, and the community continuing to show up for us and support us in droves. It's been great it's always a better feeling when the ballpark's full of people cheering on the Spartanburgers and just having a good time, smiling, making memories. And that's what it's all about. We're thankful and blessed to have a community that supports us and supports the baseball and the entertainment that we're trying to create. It's been great. The one thing that we battled this year that we were very fortunate to not battle as much last year is rain and ill-timed rain. So that's really the only thing that we've been fighting, but those are some of the things that are a little bit out of our control. But I will say, if you ever have a ticket and you see rain, still show up, because we have a really good time. Honestly, we almost have more fun because we're just entertaining people while the tarp's on the field and people are doing conga lines and crazy things are happening on the concourse and we're playing different games. It's a fun vibe. So even when it's raining, you'll want to come and enjoy it with us. And our goal is always to get the tarp off the field, play some good baseball, and give you everything that the fans, everything that they deserve. But yeah, we're also very fortunate to have a great crew of staff that put together an amazing promotion calendar that creates something new every single night that people can show up for and be entertained and participate in and be engaged beyond just the baseball.
Tyson, how do you not get lost personally in some of the fun every single night? You always have something special going on out at the ballpark, and you get to be a kid, right? You get to devise. Yeah, I think you told us a long time ago that you created a food fight the night before you had an early game the next day, and that might have created some problems in and of itself cleaning up. But you get to go out and essentially have fun as a job. How do you handle that, your desire to participate and be a part of the fun that you've spent so much time planning?
Yeah, it's really hard to sell fun if you can't have fun yourself. So it's always about, hey, we are professionals, but we can't take ourselves too seriously. And you see that a lot when you look at our promo calendar. You're like, I can't believe that they're doing this. And then, I don't know if you saw any of the videos we put out, but we did the Grill Olympics where our staff competed against each other in different games, and we were bobbing for pickles and competing in a lot of the on-field promotions. And every single person from our front office was on a team and participated in that, and essentially went out and embarrassed himself on the field in front of thousands of people. But that's part of it. I mean, it brought us all together and makes it fun, and it also helps us re-engage in what the fan should experience and feel and what we need to deliver to other people as well.
Tyson, my last question for you. Can you give us a look on what some of those upcoming promo nights are? And then the second part of that question, thus far in 2026, what's been your favorite promotion night?
Yeah. Next week is a awesome slate of promos. On Wednesday, we've got the 100th anniversary of Duncan Park.
Oh, wow.
Our season-long campaign with Pastimes. We're doing a 1,000 Duncan Park replicas as a giveaway for Gates.
That's cool.
Awesome. They look really great. And July 8th is the first game that was ever played there 100 years ago, so we timed it up perfectly. Thursday's Phobia night. So if you're scared of clowns, snakes, spiders, whatever, you need to show up and face your fears. That will be happening on Thursday. You'll see some reptiles and other things walking around the concourse. Then Friday is Rangers night, so we're leaning into our affiliate a little bit. We'll wear a specialty powder blue jersey that's similar to the Rangers powder blue jerseys, but instead of Rangers across the chest, it says Burgers. We'll auction those off and have some fun.
Ooh.
Fireworks to country music after that game on Friday, so that will be fun. Saturday is premiere at the ballpark, so we'll have some fun with the red carpet. And post game, we'll have a movie that people can go down onto the field and watch. I think they're lining up which baseball movie it is, but if it's not the one that we talked about earlier, it will be one of the other iconic ones that you can think of. And then to round out the homestand, it's probably Diesel's favorite night of the year. It's Princesses at the Ballpark. And so we'll have a tea party with princesses if you want to learn how to see which fork to use, how to lift the fingers when you're sipping your tea. So anyone that wants to come out and meet the princesses can come and get their pictures and have a good time. But yeah,
love it.
Similar to this homestand, there's always something going on at Fifth Third Park, and we're always trying to create additional layers for people to have fun with.
Well, now you put me in a bind, Tyson, because I have to decide if I'm going to wear my pink tiara, I'm going to wear my sparkly tiara. I've got choices that I have to make here. It's going to be tough. Who do you have tonight in USA versus Bosnia Herzegovina? Have you got a final score prediction?
I'm going to say 3-1.
Ooh, I like
3-1. Beat down.
I like
Santa Clara.
Tyson,
I want to watch us control that whole game.
Yeah, I'm with you. Will you be there tonight?
I will be here.
I am. I may see you there, Tyson.
Sweating.
Yeah, sweating. Bring the hand warmers and big coats, right? For those wanting to come tonight. Tyson, always appreciate your time. You guys are the best. We appreciate you, and we'll talk to you again real soon.
Appreciate you guys.
Tyson Jeffers, general manager of the Hub City Spartan Burgers. And, I have not practiced Diesel. I have not prepared. I don't know what to do. He gave a pretty good strategy with the hamburger eating contest. I was thinking the same thing, but I am going to look like an idiot. I know that for a fact.
Do you have someone there to do the Heimlich maneuver for you, just in case, Cole?
I think that's Tyson's job. I hadn't told him that yet, but I told him, I need to tell him that, I guess. But I don't know. I don't know. I've got to look in my email and get all the detail. I don't know how many burgers or what the time is or anything like that. I just know that if you are in Spartanburg and want to see me embarrass myself, here's your opportunity. You may say, well, Cole, you embarrass yourself every day from 3 to 7. Well, if you want one more opportunity, you can do so Saturday night. I don't know what to expect. I'll tell you that.
Well, if this is the end of Cole Bryson, you'll go out doing what you love, having meat in your mouth.
Eating hamburgers let's describe it that way, right? Our top headlines, Diesel, our daily wires, next right here on the Fan Upstate.
upstate.com. The ball's in your court. Sound off now at 844 fan phone.
This is Wire to Wire with Diesel and Cole Bryson on the Fan Upstate.
A very quick Daily Wires here to end the 4 o'clock hour. The Braves did what they do best. They lost to the St. Louis Cardinals on Tuesday, 5-3. Atlanta now 49-34 on the season, and the division lead over the Phillies. Diesel now down to 2.5 games. The Braves finished the month of June with a 9-13 record. Ooh,
Boo.
how about that? What a
Boo
month.
The Braves.
Reynaldo Lopez on the mound tonight. It's July, thank God, for the Braves as they face the Cardinals. 7:15 first pitch. The LA Clippers have agreed to trade all NBA forward Kawhi Leonard to the Toronto Raptors for Brandon Ingram, Grady Dick, that's Moby's brother, unprotected first-round picks in 2020, 31 and 33, sources told ESPN on Tuesday. Also, Mexico won its first World Cup knockout stage match in 40 years, Diesel, after dispatching Ecuador 2-0 in front of an electric crowd in Mexico City on Tuesday. You talked about this earlier. How about the celebrations last night from Mexico?
Massive. I mean, thousands and thousands of people out in the streets of Mexico City. It was an electric reaction. It was fantastic.
Electric. From Shams Charania, a free agent forward Tobias Harris has agreed to a 2-year deal with the San Antonio Spurs. That's huge for the Spurs. Also, earlier from Shams Charania, Mitchell Robinson, a big part, Diesel, of that NBA championship Knicks team, leaving the Knicks to join the Boston Celtics.
Whoa.
How about that? How about that? So big news there out of the NBA. Also, free agent news earlier, Colin Sexton, guard, joining the Los Angeles Lakers on a 2-year, $19 million deal. That is huge. They also signed, the Lakers did, Quentin Grimes. So the Lakers adding some pieces now that they have some money freed up from LeBron James. We'll get into that in the very next segment. Team USA back in action tonight. Diesel, Bosnia-Herzegovina, round of 32. The game's in Santa Clara, 8 o'clock start. Tyson Jeffers, GM of the Spartanburgers, said USA wins 3-1. What's your prediction? Do you have one?
I'm going to be even bolder than that, Cole. 4-1,
Ooh.
the final score. Bosnia doesn't get shut out very often, but they don't have the firepower, the speed to stay with us.
I like it. Norway won its first ever knockout round game yesterday against Ivory Coast 2-1. Free agent guard Marcus Smart has agreed to a 2-year, $13 million deal with the Houston Rockets. How about that? In case you missed it yesterday, LeBron James will return for an unprecedented 24th season, but it will not be with the LA Lakers. If you're in Spartanburg tonight, you can watch the World Cup at 8 o'clock with your friends at Fifth Third Park. Free event, doors open at 6:30, and maybe, just maybe, you'll see me there tonight watching the World Cup at Fifth Third Park. The Washington Wizards said today they have no interest in trading all-star forward Anthony Davis. They're not listening to offers, so forget Anthony Davis joining LeBron potentially in Golden State. Last one for you, Diesel. South Carolina and Nike revealed the new uniforms for the 2026 season, and Gamecock fans are complaining online that the colors look wrong.
You know, I remember as many times as South Carolina apparently has had a hard time figuring out its colors. I'm talking about the sweater that the basketball coach wore. I'm talking about the banners hanging from the side of Williams-Brice Stadium. This is kind of par for the course, Cole, but you know, this is what surprises me. A lot of South Carolina fans are saying, oh, we kind of expected the color to change. Like, what do you mean? Your color is your color. You know the exact color code of your school. Like, it's a color code.
Yeah.
How
you would
let
think,
Nike
right?
change it?
Yeah, you would think so. It'd be easy, but evidently not. So those are your Daily Wires.
When we come back, Cole, we will kick off the 5 o'clock hour with LeBron James. What do we expect the Lakers to be next year without him? What typically happens to LeBron James's teams once he has departed? And, you know, the legacy of LeBron in L.A. We'll talk about that next.
going wire to wire
With Diesel and Cole Bryson.
on the Fan Upstate.
You know, Cole, there are some numbers when you hear them, they just don't sound right. Like, there's no way that's true. You realize that LeBron James was with the Lakers for more consecutive seasons than any other place he's been in his entire career? That's one of those things that makes you say, no, there's no way. Like, one of those tenures with Cleveland had to have been longer. That tenure with Miami had to have been longer. He spent 11 total seasons with Cleveland, but his first stint was 7 years. His second stint was 4 years, 8 seasons with the Los Angeles Lakers. That's one of those mind-blowing stats.
It is.
It just doesn't make sense to me.
And if you told most of the Tolos that, I think they'd probably say, yeah, you're wrong. He was with Miami longer. But you're right. They were, the broken up seasons with Cleveland. It feels like he was with Miami 8 seasons in Los Angeles as a Laker. And, man, it's crazy to think that he's now going into, is it year 24? That would be year 24 this season?
Yeah. 23 seasons total. So
That
far.
is just nuts. And I thought this year, Diesel, I really did. I thought there was a legitimate chance he would hang it up this year. I really did.
Wow. Yeah, I'm a Metallica fan, and it's one of those, like, you hear that the current bass player, Robert Trujillo, has been in the band longer than all of their other bass players, and you're like, there's no way. He just joined like 8 years ago, 9 years ago. That's not the case. He's been in the band almost 20 years, and it blows your mind. Before we get into this LeBron James conversation, though, and I know Dewey wants to talk about LeBron, so Dewey, hang on. We'll get to you here in just a second. Cole, Jersey Joe, I think, has some advice for you. Jersey Joe, number one, wants to brag about getting ready for the hot dog eating contest. But, Joe, do you have any advice for Cole, who is going to be engaging in a hamburger eating contest?
Just go at it, man. Don't hesitate. Just go at it.
Just go. That's the best advice, Joe, that you can give me. Just go at it. I mean, are you kidding me? I've never done this before. I know you're like the 7-time champion of the Greenville Drive hot dog eating contest. That's the best advice. I mean, can we be a little bit more detailed here?
Just be confident. don't, just like I said, just.
Yeah, but how do you not
once
choke?
Once they say go, man, don't take no prisoners.
How do
Okay.
you not choke, Joe? I mean, you're literally choking down food as fast as you possibly can. And all of our moms used to yell at us, "Don't eat so fast; you're going to choke on it."
Yeah.
That's counterintuitive to what you're trying to accomplish here.
I mean, granted, I am no Joey Chestnut, but I do a hard bargain,
Okay, but can you give me some details? Like, do you drink after you're doing hot dogs? I'm doing hamburgers. Do you drink a little bit after 1 or 2 hot dogs? Do you go bread first and meat last? I mean, give me something, Joe. Come on.
Well, are you doing like full-size hamburgers? Are you doing sliders? What are you doing?
I do not know the answer to that. I don't know.
Well, I'm sorry, bud.
Regardless, though, Joe, it's a burger.
Ball game.
No,
Ball game, Cole.
it's meat and bun. I mean, your advice here, are you trying? I mean, you're like talking to Bill Belichick right now. Can you give me something? I mean, when you do it, Joe, do you put the entire hot dog in your mouth, or do you separate the bun from the wiener?
Separate.
Okay, so do you dunk the bun in the water or whatever liquid drink you have?
It all depends, what's going on at the time.
Are you ever afraid that you're going to choke on it, Joe?
Yes, I mean, you do get afraid. Of course you do, but,
Okay,
For
so
glory, though.
so like
Glory.
if you were doing it right now, you have your now. How do y'all do it? It's a drive. Do you have like a certain amount of hot dogs? You have to just see who can finish first. Is that right?
Yeah. Everybody gets 10 dogs. First one done wins.
First one done wins. Okay, so like if I were doing this today and it's Saturday, you're telling me, Joe, go one at a time, separate the burger from the bun, dip the bun, eat the burger first, or does it matter? Do you save all the bread for last? Because I would imagine the bread's kind of the challenge, right?
No, I do dog and bread same time.
Oh. So you don't separate, because Jersey Joe separates. I mean, not Jersey Joe, Joey Chestnut. Joey, doesn't he? Am I right on that?
He does, yes. I think so.
That's interesting.
Interesting. Joe, do you have any advice on whether or not Cole should eat anything for breakfast that day, or should he keep his stomach empty?
Oh no! I think you should eat something, because if you go in there with an empty stomach, I feel you're going to fill up quicker.
Okay. So eat something like at lunchtime, you think?
Well, I eat a full-on breakfast. I eat a full-on lunch.
Really?
And when it comes time for the contest, I do do the contest.
Are there any tricks like swallowing a bunch of air so that it expands your stomach, and then you just burp a couple times and your stomach's stretched out?
No.
Yeah, I got a cake for a belly anyway, so
Jersey Joe's just built different. Just built different.
He's an athlete, Cole. What can we say? Joe, appreciate the phone call.
All right, guys.
Thanks, Jersey Joe. Appreciate
Thanks,
you.
Jersey Joe.
Good luck to you, by the way, this weekend.
Speaking LeBron James, though, Cole, I was watching the TV a minute ago, and folks on ESPN were saying LeBron James deserves a statue in LA. We're talking about all the great players that have played in LA, won multiple titles in LA. LeBron James won one in 8 seasons.
Yeah.
Now he set a bunch of records and he broke a bunch of records, and that's fantastic. And he would have done that regardless of what team he was playing for, right? He could be playing for the Clippers. He could be playing for the Charlotte Hornets
Sure.
at this point in his career and have broken all those records. Does that deserve a statue in LA somewhere near the Staples Center?
So I think I talked a little bit with Michael Duarte about this yesterday, and here's where I stand on it. Diesel, right now there are 8 Lakers that have statues. Kareem, Elgin Baylor, Kobe, Magic, Shaq, Jerry West, and Pat Riley. Those are the players, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Chick Hearn. I miss Chick. He's the Hall of Fame broadcaster. So you've got 8 players that have a statue. You talk about the best Lakers of all time. Kobe, Magic, Kareem, Shaq, Jerry West, I think are probably the top 5. In order, Diesel, if you go into Staples, whatever they call it, crypto.com now, right? If you go in there now and you look up in the rafters, the Lakers that have jerseys in the rafters all have a common denominator. That is that they've won a championship. So I'll answer your question by telling you this. I do think, of course, LeBron deserves his jersey retired as a Laker hung in the rafters. Yeah. Do I think LeBron is an all-time Laker? I don't. Do I think LeBron's one of the best players, if not the best player to ever play the game? I do. But you look at the shorter amounts, these shorter stints that Magic Johnson, you can't tell me LeBron's better than Magic. Not better than Shaq, not better than Kareem, there are so many. Pau Gasol,
You're talking specifically as Lakers, right?
As Lakers, yeah, and LeBron's not top 5 when it comes to all-time greatest Lakers. So no, I don't think he deserves a statue. I do believe he deserves his jersey retired in the rafters because he brought him a championship. And by the way, let's remember the fact, Diesel, that before LeBron signed in LA. A star, you couldn't pay a star to come to LA. They were horrible. They missed 3 or 4 playoff seasons in a row of not even making the playoffs. They were horrible before LeBron got there. But I would not go as far as to say he needs a statue.
I think that number is 6, Cole. They made the playoffs 6 years in a row, which it's another one of those mind-boggling numbers. How did the team of Kobe, that was not that long before LeBron James, doesn't feel like it at least, how did they go from that level of dominance and top of the mind best franchises in the NBA to not sniffing the playoffs for more than half a decade? It's crazy to think.
And Kobe retired in 16. He played his last game on April 13th, 2016. So 10 years ago, he passed away tragically in 2020. He had a 20-year career with the Lakers. So I would even say no. LeBron, when it comes to being a great Laker, LeBron's not top 5.
What does Dewey think? Dewey, does LeBron James deserve a statue at the Lakers arena?
No, LeBron James, he needs to go away and never come back. He's been in the league for 80 years. It's time for him to go. He's no good. No one cares about his politics. No one cares about what he thinks. His son, Bronny the paper towel, he sucks. And it's time. It's time to put
and Dewey,
James thing to rest.
Dewey, I'm going to give you the same treatment and speech that I gave Jersey Joe yesterday. Just because you don't care about LeBron doesn't mean no one does. Open Twitter, open social media. Look, is he at the top of his game? No. Does he still move the needle more than anybody else in the NBA? Yes, he does. And it's just, it is what it is at this point. I get that you may hate him and you may not think he's worth a crap and you may think he needs to retire, but the guy still moves the needle. There are still NBA teams that want him. He's old as he is, and he's still averaging 24 a game. So you can hate somebody, but at least kind of speak factual a little bit, Dewey. I know that's not your repertoire.
But he's old. And he left Cleveland. He came back to Cleveland. He went to Miami. He left Miami. He's not loyal to his teams. He don't care nothing about those teams. He's not a team player. LeBron just cares about LeBron and his billions of dollars that he has. And that's all I got to say about him. But I got advice for you when you eat cheeseburgers.
Okay.
You eat them, eat one at a time, but you do
Oh.
it fast. Because when I won the hot dog eating contest back in my day, I just stuffed them all in my mouth. And I never did a hamburger one, but you got to put ketchup on it, and then you got to put mayonnaise and mustard and pickles on it.
I don't think they're going to
put it all in your mouth all at the same
Dewey,
time.
I don't think they're going to let you have a condiment bar before you do the hamburger eating contest at the Spartan Burgers game.
Well, you got to have seasoning and all sorts of stuff on it.
Lettuce.
They'll let you put some cowboy butter on there?
Yeah.
And then they're going to trip you up and make it an impossible burger. It'll be a veggie burger, and then you're going to throw up all over the place.
Hey, Dewey, will LeBron James be a Warrior or a Cavalier next year?
I think he's going back to Cleveland because he's going to retire as a Cleveland.
Think
As
so.
a Cleveland. Okay.
Think so.
Yes.
Okay.
And as far as the Braves are concerned, they're 2.5 games now. I got a new prediction. They're going to be below 500 before the All-Star break. Oh.
Thanks, Dewey.
Thanks, Dewey.
Wow. I would say good phone call, but that's a bit of a stretch.
You never know what you're going to get, right?
So I looked up, Cole, what happens to teams that LeBron James leaves, because obviously LA is going to free up a lot of salary cap space when they move on.
And look what they've done just today.
Once they get that contract, out of the way. Things don't typically go well for teams that LeBron leaves. Granted, none of those teams had Luka Doncic on it when he left. The 2010 Cavaliers, Cole, they went from 61 wins the year prior to 19 wins the year after LeBron James left. The Miami Heat, when LeBron left the Heat to go back to Cleveland, they went from 54 wins to 37 wins. And then when he went from Cleveland to LA, the Cavaliers went from 50 wins down to 19 wins the following season. So LeBron James has just abused the Cleveland Cavaliers in the years after he left them.
Yeah, and that's one thing I was talking with Michael about, and I kind of struggle to wrap my head around, Diesel, when you talk about the Lakers' life after LeBron. You said it, Luka's a franchise cornerstone. He's a phenomenal basketball player, right? But Luka Doncic, he doesn't play defense. And yeah, the Lakers made some moves today. They acquired 1, 2, 3 players, Sandro, Quentin Grimes, and Colin Sexton, which is pretty good. They also got Walker Kessler from the Jazz. So they're making moves now that they have some money freed up. And you're right, Luka's a game changer. I just don't know, Diesel, when you look at life after LeBron for LA, are you going to have enough around Luka to consistently be in position year after year to make a push for a championship? Luka by himself, even with Austin Reeves, I don't think is enough. I think you're going to have, because of the way the West is constructed. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but it also opens up some scoring opportunities for both of those guys that LeBron James, he's going to command touches. He's going to command minutes, and the offense for as good as it was, it's still had to flow through LeBron quite a bit because LeBron still had to get his. And now, again, like I said, it frees up those touches for those guys.
And my thing is, are those two going to stay healthy? You look at when it mattered last year, this past season, Diesel, when it mattered, Austin Reeves and Luka Doncic were on the bench. You remember that? They went on this illustrious run with LeBron, Luka, and AR to kind of toward the latter part of the season. Remember, they went on a tear, the Lakers did, and they were winning games. They looked good. They were being talked about for a championship contender, maybe caliber. But Luka and AR go down, and they're still good, but they're not the same team. So obviously, health is important. I love Austin Reeves. I do. I love Austin Reeves. I pull for him. And Diesel, I just don't know ultimately what it looks like. To your point, though, about the stats, though, I mean, life hasn't been good to those teams who have let LeBron go. I think that the Lakers, the fans, the ones like Kevin who called in yesterday, and those who were ready to see LeBron leave, I think 2 years from now, as good as Luka is, I think they'll wish they still had a guy like LeBron.
Texter says that I am guilty of a low blow. This came 30 minutes ago, Cole. I hadn't seen it until just this moment. What did I say? Did I say something that was a low blow?
I don't remember.
Half an hour ago, we would have been, we might have been talking Daily Wires at this time, or the very tail end of the Tyson Jeffers interview. I don't know, Texter. Let me know. Let's go to the phone lines again. Bring in Matt from Ohio. Matt, do you want to see LeBron James come back home from one more ride? I know you called in to talk about Kurt Signetti, but being from Ohio, I know you probably have LeBron thoughts.
LeBron James is like the girl that we all dated at one point in our life in school or when we were younger. When it was really good in the relationship, it was really good, but it always ended terribly. You know, at this point in time, you know, he's kind of a rent-a-title player. I'm not a big Cavaliers fan. I don't really follow the NBA much, but I think a farewell tour would be appropriate for him because I think he's earned that. But if you're looking to build the franchise, I don't know that you're going to do it with LeBron. Like I said, it's that volatile relationship that you have when you're younger. When it's good, but it ends terribly. I wanted to talk about Signetti though, and I think you guys hit on a couple things that were pretty important. But being a Big Ten guy and being from Ohio, I'm curious too to see the dynamic with Signetti. You know, Indiana's never really historically been a really good football program. You know, in fact, from the Ohio State perspective and Michigan and some of the other powerhouses in the Big Ten, you know, that was always a week that you kind of said, okay, hope nobody gets hurt and we cover. Of course, you know, for entertainment purposes only. But I think it'll be interesting to see what the Indiana fan base's expectation is because we all know that, you know, college football is crazy now. And I've talked to you guys about Ryan Day. You know, he loses a game and there's an angry mob marching down High Street, you know, ready to pull the trigger on him. So, you know, I think Dabo felt that this year. We'll see what the title gets him as far as how much runway. But I think he's building a good program, and I'll tell you why. He can develop talent, and he's got an eye for talent. And you still need to recruit in college football. You still need to bring in the best players, and you still need to develop those players because the best players anymore are almost ready to play immediately, like a Jeremiah Smith. They're just that good now, and the high school programs are that good. But what I will tell you is this: I think he has the other component that you need, and that's a pretty good support system from the university. And we all heard, you know, the story about, you know, the rumors up here, well, in Ohio actually, but the rumors in Ohio were, you know, when he was approaching this year's season, he said, "I've got a really good team, but I need a quarterback," and he went to the athletic department in Indiana, and you know, he looked in the portal and saw Mendoza, and you know, then from there it made its way to Mark Cuban, who's, you know, an Indiana grad, and Indiana does have a very accomplished business school up there. I don't know if y'all know that down here, but they don't have a huge number of graduates, but they've got a lot of wealthy graduates. Also, you've got John Cougar Mellencamp, who's a huge supporter of Indiana football. There's buildings on campus that bear his name. So, you know, Signetti's great at identifying talent. He can develop talent, but he's also got the resources to use the portal to bring in the players that he needs. And if you think about the last couple national championships, you know, Ohio State and Indiana, you know, they were working on basically one-year contracts with quarterbacks. So I think that Signetti has the resources to make a pretty good run. But I think that you guys raised a great question. What's the expectation now in Indiana? Is that, hey, we're going to win it every year because I know, you know, people can be that way, or is it, hey, playoffs are good, maybe get to the Big Ten championship game? I don't know, but that was a great question.
Hey, Matt, also, did you see the yesterday you and I talked about wide receiver U at Ohio State? Today, 5-star wide receiver Jet Harrison announced his commitment to Ohio State, a loaded 2028 class for Ryan Day.
Yeah, and we were from the Ohio State perspective. I think everybody was a little concerned that recruiting would fall off because of Hartline leaving. He was the kind of the driver in that wide receiver room from a coaching standpoint. And he did an awful lot of recruiting, but Ohio State's excelling right now, putting those guys in the Big Ten. But I can tell you that people from Ohio, where Indiana was never on the radar, just to be truthful, they're on the radar now.
Sure.
And I feel like, with those elements of, he's got a good eye for talent. He can develop talent, so he's going to get some good recruits. But he's also got the resources to bring in the needs from the portal. And I think that's, you can't go completely through the portal because you'll have no continuity. So you need to blend it. And I think he's done a good job of that, as has Ryan Day.
Yeah.
It's amazing though, Matt, how much, basically having unlimited funds can cover up a recruiting guru that leaves you.
Well, yeah, I mean, and don't kid yourself too. I mean, I've been to a lot of the facilities at Ohio State, and I mean, it's first class.
Yeah.
Like the Woody Hayes facility, they have so many resources
Sure.
beyond NIL, but NIL is a huge part of it, and I'm surprised, quite honestly, that more of these Texas Oil guys haven't really gotten involved more, or maybe we just don't hear about it here in the upstate. But I feel like Signetti is going to build a good program because he has been. You guys mentioned it. He's been successful everywhere he went, but he's got where I think if Indiana lacks anything right now, it's probably in the facility department. But I mean, if they keep winning, that'll take care of itself.
Yeah.
Because winning brings out the donors too. But I think you're going to see him around. I don't think he's going anywhere, and he's the Ohio State fans that I know. He's definitely on the radar.
Matt, thanks for the call, man. Always
Great
appreciate
stuff,
you. Diesel, Cocky for a reason up next. We still have Cocky?
No, we lost both Cocky for a reason
wow.
and Rick. You
What are they
guys
doing?
Big time in us, man. They say if you
Yeah.
if you put me on hold for more than 30 seconds, we're gone. Sorry.
Come
Sorry,
on.
guys.
Excuse us. Excuse
Yeah.
us. A couple of texts real quick. Let's see. Texter from the 850 giving a shout out to Matt from Ohio. He says, Matt from Ohio sounds like a guest you do every week. Very well spoken. There you go, Matt from Ohio. Getting a little praise, baby. I love it.
Pipes, man.
Philip Rollins text in. He says, check it out. A big upset brewing in the World Cup, says Philip Rollins. Adam asks, is Bronny going with LeBron or is he staying with the Lakers? I would imagine he stays. Texter asks, will LeBron James statue be him laying on his back after a flop? I'll tell you this. I wish, Diesel, I lived a life where my biggest critic criticized me for flopping. I do.
Yeah.
I wish I lived that life.
Well,
if that's
it. You stop flopping.
yeah, you stop flopping, but guess what? Who cares? Who cares if he flops? What does that say? Everybody flops. Go watch Luka. Go watch SGA. Go watch the World Cup. It's everywhere. If your biggest criticism of LeBron James is that he flops, find better ammunition. Goodness gracious.
It's very low hanging fruit. That is true.
Golly. Diesel, day 3. Here we go. Yesterday, we talked about Kurt Signetti. That carried over in today. We're knocking down the door. These storylines, these 10, will take us all the way up until ACC kickoff. 59 days until week 1 in college football. We have a new storyline to kick the door down on today. Which one, Tolos, will it be? Find out. College football conversation coming up next right here on the Fan Upstate.
That's 844-FAN-PHONE. This is Wire to Wire with Cole, Bryson, and Diesel on the Fan Upstate.
Well, we are now 59 days away from the start of college football season. And Diesel, when I say the start, like the day of, we're under 60 and we're getting closer and closer. We're in the month of July. Hey, today's July 1st, which means we can officially say, guess what? We have real football next month. There you go. We're getting there, baby.
My wife says, gosh, I'm going to lose you here in a couple months, aren't I?
Yeah, I hate it for her, but yeah, I think so. Let's see. Good to hear
she's
from.
Also the one that said, let's put a TV outside on our patio. So it's her fault. I think she's enabling.
I like that. On the Joy Law Firm text line, Coop and Greer gets in. He says, "What's up, boys? Coop, good to hear from you, man." He said, I can hardly listen because I have to get these people some AC going. The heat dome is here, but I listen in between calls. Coop, appreciate you doing so, man. I didn't know you were the heat and air guy, but hey, keep on toe-lowing, turning it on, and leaving it on. And for those that are working in this heat today, we feel you, and better you than us. I very much respect those who are in attics, and boy, that would not be fun right now.
Coop, what's the hottest temperature? If you have a thermometer on you or something, what's the hottest you've ever had to work in up in an attic somewhere?
Bet it's hot. G gets in on the Joy Law Firm text line and says USA wins 3-2. So we have a few predictions coming in for tonight's game. Diesel, we're knocking down the doors, one storyline, one day at a time. We're on storyline number 3. Again, we're 59 days away. These storylines will take us all the way up until the first day of ACC kickoff, where you and I will be live in Charlotte for ACC kickoff, courtesy of Capacity Glass. But yesterday we talked about Curt Cignetti. Monday we talked about Trinidad Chambliss, what his ceiling was with first-year head coach in Pete Golding. Today we go to another first-year head coach, Blacksburg, Virginia, James Franklin. That's the storyline we knocked the door down on today. Can James Franklin do what Curt Cignetti did possibly at Virginia Tech, just like we did yesterday? Diesel we will start with a caller, Tom in Somerville, on the phone lines. Tom, today's storyline leading up to the college football season that we're knocking down, can James Franklin replicate what Curt Cignetti did in Indiana? We'll give you the floor first.
No, he cannot.
Ooh.
Now, do I think James Franklin can win an ACC championship and make the playoffs? Yes, I think he can do that at Virginia Tech at some point. But let's be honest, okay? James Franklin is not a big game football coach, and whether he's at Penn State, Alcorn State, or Virginia Tech, that's not changed. I think we're going to see that this year when they play Clemson. Dabo's going to run circles around him. As much as I hate to admit that, just James Franklin cannot win a big football game to save his life.
Wow.
And it's going to be the same thing that happened at Penn State. They'll win 9 games, they'll win 10 games, but they'll fall on their face every time in a big game when it matters. That's not changed.
27 transfers coming in this year, Tom. 3 of them were 4 stars. If you look at the recruiting, so that would be the guys coming out of high school, Virginia Tech had she's got 3 4-star players and 19 3-star guys. You're not going to win the ACC over Miami or Florida State or Clemson with those kind of numbers.
Well, they might beat Florida State because let's be honest,
That's true.
Florida State. But I mean, and he'll be there a long time. He'll be there, 9, 10 years, and eventually Virginia Tech will get fed up with his, lame excuses.
But will they though, Tom? Will they? Does Virginia Tech have those kind of expectations?
Well, they've lost that expectation.
You said they've lost it?
20 years ago.
Oh,
They
yeah.
lost that love and feeling.
Yeah.
So they'll enjoy it for 5, 6, 7 years, but eventually they'll get tired of it. I mean, it'll happen. It'll happen, and they'll think they're a big dog when. But here's the thing about Virginia Tech that kind of gets me like somewhat if you look at the positive, like the long-term outlook, they've gotten a lot of money this year.
They have.
They've had a lot of money donated.
Yeah.
Now, I don't know if y'all ever been to Blacksburg, and it's a cool place. It's a cool place to go to a football game. But it's not really a destination place if you're a 4 or 5-star recruit, in my opinion.
Okay.
So we'll see. We'll see. My biggest thing, and Cole, you mentioned it a second ago, I woke up this morning and I was the happiest man alive because this is the last full month without any football on TV until March.
Yes.
Okay? Now, I know a lot of people aren't going to count the Canadian football, but that is on TV right now. And you know me, I watch my old game, and I don't know if y'all talked about it, but I see a lot of people on the Twitter today talking about the uniforms, Gamecock uniforms.
It's the wrong color.
Personally, it's the wrong color. Exactly, it's the wrong color. But I just wanted to know this. I don't care if they wear white, gray, teal. I don't care what color it is. My only suggestion is that they bring back the plain black pants with a glossy helmet like Lou Holtz did in 2004.
Yeah.
That's my only suggestion.
Those were good. I'm with you. I love the black. I did love the black.
It looked good. They need to bring it back.
I don't think they will, though.
The problem is the last time they did it, wore them, we all know what happened. It was a brawl that tainted the rivalry for a little bit. But, you know, I was thinking about this today. You know, Shane Beamer had a rough year last year. But if the Gamecocks wanted to bring back some intensity, maybe light a fire, bring them helmets back, you know, first big game, first SEC game against Mississippi State, might light a fire under them. They might get a little intense, might even start a fight. But if you win the football game, that's all that matters. Maybe that's what Beamer needs to do.
Maybe that's rock bottom, Tom. Maybe that's rock bottom, hoping helmets can light a fire under your college football team.
Well, you know, we've hit rock bottom. Gamecock fans have been at rock bottom since day one. You know, we've had a few high moments, but maybe bringing back a glossy black helmet like we had in 2004 will turn us into Indiana football and Shane Beamer winning national championship.
Hey, Tom, I can give you a reason right now to watch CFL. Former South Carolina Gamecock defensive lineman Jabari Ellis is a Winnipeg Blue Bomber. So if you need a reason to be a fan of a team, you can watch the Blue Bombers for Jabari Ellis.
I did not know. I did watch the Canadian football game this past weekend, and it made me remember, if you look at the history of Gamecock football players, especially from the Lou Holtz era, a number of them have won championships in the Canadian Football League. So, you know, if you look at Canadian Football League history, the Gamecocks got a lot of Canadian Football Hall of Fame.
Here we go. Here we go.
We got to update that saying, Tom. What does a Gamecock do when they win a national title? They turn off the PlayStation and go to bed. The new response is they call their agent and say, "Get me into the NFL. Get me out of Canada."
Yeah, exactly.
Tom, thanks for the call.
Go Gamecocks.
Thanks, Tom.
So to put a bow on the Virginia Tech thing, Tom said no, Diesel. I think it's less likely to happen as dramatically as the Cignetti turnaround. What I mean is, I think the Cignetti turnaround was dramatic. What he did in Bloomington, Diesel, was like unprecedented, right? He brought a large portion of his winning culture personnel from previous stops. He aggressively used the portal. We know that. Indiana was horrible. And why I say it was dramatic and unique, Diesel, is because everything clicked almost immediately, which is so rare in college football. those 1 to 2 year transformations, you go back and look in the history books, those don't happen. Those don't happen. Now, to Tom's point, Virginia Tech may have some advantages. They do have a good home field advantage, passionate fan base, strong facilities, proud tradition. And Franklin's a good recruiter, Diesel, and he knows the Mid-Atlantic. He's already assembled a good staff. But I just say the biggest difference for me, and I want to hear what you think, Franklin isn't walking into the same situation that Cignetti did. Cignetti teams were known for those veteran quarterbacks, experienced transfer classes, and older rosters. Franklin's formula has usually, you go back and look, it's been different. Recruit at a high level, build depth. His best teams have usually peaked 2 to 4 years rather than immediately. So do I think he can have success? Yes. Do I think it's dramatic like Indiana? No, I do not.
Can he keep the money coming in, right? I mean, you go back to when James Franklin was hired, and immediately somebody donated, a 4-generation Hokie family donated $75 million to football. And they had just received a $20 million gift right after he was hired as well. So a massive influx in funds. Is it going to be the same as what he had at Penn State? No. Is he going to be in as many big games, against the Ohio States and Michigans of the world for a conference championship on the line? Probably not either.
No.
So you can make fun of him for not being able to win the big games, but truth is he's not going to be in that many of those.
No, he won't be.
ACC.
He won't be. So I think to put a bow on it for me, James Franklin's success would look like this. If James Franklin is successful, Diesel, I would draw up something like this. Year 1, 2026. 8 wins, 9 wins, bowl game. Obviously, that's a noticeable improvement for Virginia Tech, right? 8 or 9 wins, first year at Virginia Tech. Hey, this guy's going in the right direction. Year 2. Next year, 2027, I think you've got to be competing near the top of the ACC. I'm not saying like you've got to win it, but I think you should be in contention in year 2 in the ACC. What you can do in the portal nowadays, the leash, the expectation, the timeline isn't as long nowadays. Diesel used to, you had to give to coaches 3, 4 years, 5 years. Nowadays, they can flip a roster in a few months. So year 1, 8 wins, 9 wins, bowl game, whatever. Year 2, competing for the ACC. Year 3, 2028, legitimate conference championship team and college football playoff team. If you win the ACC, you're in. The expanded playoff will be here by 2028. I think if I were to lay it out, that's how I would define success for James Franklin up in Blacksburg. Just be noticeably better this year.
I think the schedule lays out really well for them. They play on the road at Clemson. We'll have to find out what Clemson is going to be this year.
You have their schedule pulled up?
I have it right here, yeah.
Let's go through it, Diesel, real quick.
Okay. Well, they're going to start probably 2-0 facing VMI and Old Dominion weeks 1 and 2, both of those at home. So let's just skip
2-0.
that.
Yep.
2-0. Then they'll play on the road at Maryland.
I think there's a shot at 3-0 there, depending on what Maryland looks like. I'll admit to you, I don't know a ton.
Yeah.
I would maybe lean more towards a coin flip game there.
Yeah, I would say so. I'd be willing to go 2-1 because I think something happens. They trip up. They're maybe not quite in the spot they want to be. Then they go on the road at Boston College.
I think it's a winnable game for Virginia Tech.
3 wins there. Then they play Pitt at home.
I'd probably – it's at Virginia Tech, you said?
Correct.
I think it's a coin flip. Coin flip, very close spread, 2.5-point spread in favor of Virginia Tech. I could see them with 2 losses, maybe 3-2, something like that. I mean, maybe you give them the edge at home since they're in Blacksburg.
Yeah, I think regardless, they split the Maryland and Pitt game.
I'm good with that.
In my opinion. So regardless, they're going to be 4-1 at that point.
That'd be good.
Then they go on the road at Cal, which I say is probably a win.
They were near the bottom of the conference last year. I don't see a drastic improvement. Yeah, I'd say 5-1.
5-1.
Pretty good start.
They face Georgia Tech in Blacksburg with a new quarterback.
I'll tell you this. I'm really interested. Now, I believe in Brent Key, man, but I'm really interested to see what 2026 looks like for Georgia Tech. You said no Haynes King. It's in Blacksburg. I mean, if you're 5-1, I'd say Georgia Tech might be favored by a little bit, but Georgia Tech's got to prove. I mean, they were really good last year, Diesel, but they've still got to prove it to me. And hey, by that time of the year, we'll know how good Georgia Tech is. I think that could be a tough game.
I got them winning that game, so 6-1.
Wow, bowl eligible already
on the road at Clemson.
Yeah, they're not. They're not losing. They're not winning that game.
6-2. Bye week at SMU on the road.
I don't think they're beating SMU with Kevin Jennings.
I'm with you. 2 losses in a row. That's got them at 6-3. Then they play Stanford at home. That's a win.
Yep.
7-3. On the road at Miami.
Loss.
That's a loss. 7-4. Virginia, who's gotten a lot better the last couple of years. I'm saying they lose that game as well. So they finish the season 7-5.
You know what's funny though? Let's say that happens. Let's say Diesel, that exact scenario plays out. If that scenario plays out and they're at 7-4 and they lose to Tony Elliott in Virginia, the same mantra will be brought up of, he just can't win the big games.
True.
He can't win them.
That's true.
And even though that's not like a huge Penn State, Oregon kind of game like we saw this past fall, that's still like that could be a pretty big game for Virginia Tech. And that game is where? Virginia and Virginia Tech?
That is in Blacksburg.
Be a big game. Franklin and Elliott, man. Who would have thought? Who would have thought 5 years ago, Diesel, that we'd say Tony Elliott and James Franklin are playing in a rivalry game between Virginia and Virginia Tech? Huh?
Tony Elliott has really impressed me the way that he's brought that program back, especially after the tragic circumstances that they had to deal with.
He had a rough start
a couple of years ago.
Yep.
We knew what kind of coach Tony Elliott is or was when he left Clemson, but that's no guarantee that you're going to be able to turn a program that has always been up and down, more down than up, around to where you want them to be. I think they're still a program on the rise. I think Virginia should settle into an 8-win, sometimes a 9-win kind of team, sometimes a 7-win kind of team. I think the days of losing a lot of football games in Charlottesville is done. And by the way, Cole, I went up there last year. We drove through Charlottesville. Most people think of Virginia having some small little podunk stadium, and that's a nice stadium. I like it a lot.
Really?
It's bigger than you think it is. And we looked at it from the outside, kind of looking through the gates. It's not a massive stadium. I think it's somewhere around 65,000 or 60,000 seats.
Okay.
It's very vertical. It's straight up from the field level, and I like it.
I've been to Blacksburg once. I went up there. I want to say like I was young. It was when Clemson played up there it was a night game. It's been a long time. But I've never been to Charlottesville. Is that what you said? Is that where it is? Charlottesville? No, I've never been there. But I don't know. I think this is one of the more, even though it's the ACC, I think this is one of the more interesting storylines, Diesel, for 2026. James Franklin and his new life he's found in Blacksburg.
I think he's going to fit in perfectly in that community. I think he's the right kind of blue collar mountain man. He spent his time at Vanderbilt, and he was just up the road in Pennsylvania. I think he's the right kind of guy. Do I think it's going to bring Virginia Tech back to the promised land, back to what everybody thought they were going to be when they joined the ACC? I mean, we'll just have to wait and see.
It's gonna be tough.
The powers that be, or the powers that were, are kind of down right now. Clemson's kind of down. Florida State's kind of down. Miami has reemerged. We don't know what they're going to be this year, but they spend a lot of money, so there's a good sense that they're going to be pretty good.
Sure.
So I don't think they have as many horses that they have to outrun in the coming season.
It's gonna be fun.
Again, assuming things stay the way they are. Texter said there's a big upset brewing right now in the World Cup. He is absolutely right, Cole. 84th minute, Senegal leads Belgium 2-0. So we don't know how much time might get added, but Belgium better score, and they better score fast. They are currently going the wrong way, Cole. They're not attacking. They are backing up, and this would be huge because this would be another top 10 team in the world going down in the round of 32.
And it's Belgium who's on the verge of being upset. Is that what you said?
Belgium, yeah. Belgium down 2-0 to Senegal.
How about that?
When we come back, we'll look at the game we are going to be watching tonight. All of us sitting, watching with bated breath, Cole sweating out there at Fifth Third Park, watching the soccer match between USA and Bosnia Herzegovina. Quick little preview of what to look out for in that game coming up next.
Bambi Sports takes at the door. Call in if you're man enough.
844 Fan Phone. This is Wire to Wire with Diesel and Cole Bryson on the Fan Upstate.
Well, somebody, Cole, must have told these Belgian players that if they didn't shape up, they would never get another Belgian waffle in their life, because they've gone from down 2-0 in the 85th minute to now tied 2-2 in the 89th minute. Cole, two rapid-fire goals for the Belgian team, and the number 9 team in the world has just pulled even with Senegal.
They heard you talking trash is what it was, and they got on that quickly. I mean, all that happened within the matter of a couple of minutes while we were on commercial break. You know, we've had several Tolos give predictions for tonight's game. You gave your prediction already as well. earlier in the 4 o'clock hour. I am not a soccer guy, but why not join the party and give a prediction? What was yours? Did you say 3-1?
I went bolder. I said 4-1.
Okay, 4-1. I don't think we score 4. I'm going to go tonight because I'm putting on my expert prediction hat because I'm such a soccer expert here, right? I'm going to go 3-2. 3-2. Yep, close one tonight. Closer than people think.
That's probably fairly accurate, Cole, because this Bosnia team, they're not fast. And Team USA likes to play fast. We know they like to get out and score early. They jump out usually in the first couple of minutes. But Bosnia has not been shut out in this tournament, Cole. They've given up 6 goals on 14 shots on target during the group stage, 4 goals against Switzerland. So you can score on Bosnia. That's not really the thing. That's not really the issue. But I think they have a lot of grit and determination, and they don't allow themselves to be dominated after they get down.
Yeah, it's going to be fun. Like, this is where I think, Diesel, you start getting, and by the way, if my prediction's right, I mean, all of a sudden I'm a soccer expert. I mean, that's just what I'm going to start calling myself. I think this is where it gets fun. I think this is where, how like in March Madness, Diesel, and the Super Bowl, people, casuals tune in that hadn't tuned in all year. I think this is kind of where people are really starting to tune in, like me, like, hey, watch parties. It's getting real. It's the knockout round. Let's see if we can be one of the final 16. So I can't believe I'm saying this, but I'm looking forward to it tonight.
11 of Bosnia's last 12 matches have seen both sides score. So let me correct myself on that. Watch for Team USA to attack the middle. That's going to be a big thing for us tonight. If we can attack the middle and go after a player by the name of Nikola Kacic, he is foul happy, Cole. If we can get into his head and we can create some opportunities for kicks in the middle, I think Team USA could have the opportunity to win this.
Kick him right in the middle, baby. Kick him in the middle. Kick him. That's what Diesel said to do. Kick that guy in the middle. Let's continue a little bit of that conversation. Also, Diesel, let's dive back into the conversation from earlier. You asked, which would be easier, Clemson avenging some losses or South Carolina doing that? You notice, Tolos, we're starting to talk a little bit more college football every single day. It's getting close, 59 days away. We'll continue